The Denny J Show.
Zvanga zviri down ta up tauraidzwe nyaya dzacho dzese narrative ndaichidwe kana mchida kutipisa deep ndaipidwe make you spill a bean if you know what I mean hande
It's time!
Hey everybody, how you doing? Becky K here. I'm back with Denny J.
What's up? What's up, Becky K?
Yo, it's the Denny J Show. Yeah.
We'll leave it to go.
Becky. I'm back to restore order. Nash, what was that? Talk to me.
You know when you're not here,
What happened?
it's always a problem.
You know, I sat in my house there.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I don't know, I was like, do I say these young men or do I say these boys?
But Becky, we delivered the views.
You know
people
what?
like views.
You made Nash very happy, but I was a bit worried about you, like honestly.
Yeah.
So I missed 3 interviews?
Yeah.
Was it 3?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm sad. I wasn't happy that I was missing those episodes, but it job. Mm-hmm. I had to, get some work done.
Yep.
I really wish I was on all those interviews. I don't know how I would have handled myself though, so let me not give myself too much credit. I don't know how I would have handled myself there, but definitely you would have behaved better.
Nash, people are always saying Becky does a lot of stuff for the regime. Don't you think she would have been on my side on that episode?
Because Becky, you are
She probably.
100%.
100%, yes.
So I think it would have been worse.
It wouldn't have been worse, but I think I would have allowed the person to speak.
Okay.
So that I can hear what he has to say.
It's always good to hear, right?
Yes, it's always good to hear. But you were ready. You came out there guns blazing and I was like, my nigga. And then she was like, no.
Hold on.
So today we're hoping
Yeah.
he's not going to cut.
But I mean, you did watch what we did with Joshua Maponga, right?
I loved it. You could have done more. Again, I wish I was there, but I had an event that same day.
Yeah.
I did watch. I think I watched it twice just to make sure that I didn't miss out on.
Yeah. It would have been nice to have your Christian perspective on a number of things that were pointed out.
I had a couple of questions, especially because he was a minister of the word for such a long time, and then all of a sudden that switch, and then we are just supposed to play along and roll over.
You just saw the light, I guess. I don't know.
No, everybody sees the light, and then there's always a way out. So if you're going to lead people in a certain direction, you must give them a plan. Like, this is the plan. So now we're living in bushes and caves and mountains, and
but you saw he's very charismatic. Did you see when he was asked?
He was very charismatic.
So you're living in the bush now? It was like, yeah, I've come to town for meetings and to charge my phone. And
yes, and
he made a joke out of it. But
he did.
But he's very eloquent, so he can say all sorts of whatever and get away with it.
Yeah, and then I saw some of the comments where people were like, Nash is so rude. Why would you ask that? Guys, if Nash does not ask the questions the way he asks those questions,
do you realize?
Do
you realize because he asked that question,
then
he started explanation about the moon and the woman and
it made sense.
So thank
for
you,
me.
Nash. Keep asking these.
You know what made sense for me though with that Joshua Maponga interview?
Yeah.
The whole Chuma thing.
Yeah.
Because we demonized Chuma.
So if it wasn't for Nash asking that question, that whole story would
so now the Chuma made sense for me to, they were marking the menstrual cycle. Oh, so the men would know to, chiri ready.
Chimono.
Yes, Chimono, human, as Nash would put it. Yeah, but so let's try and behave today. Our guest is a very important man. All right.
Yes.
Also a man of philosophy.
Right.
Very philosophical in most of his sayings, and the way he lives his life. It's very calculated. It's not haphazard. He knows exactly what he wants out of life, and he knows exactly what he's giving into life for it to give back what he wants. So ndrukumbiro mkomaden. Patunowavunza omvunzo. Tivaregedze vapindure muvunzo.
Joshua Maponga. I was actually recording. I think I must have spoken for 2 minutes.
I think
out of the whole almost
like,
3 hour episode. I spoke for 2 minutes.
Answer the question.
When they start to learn, we learn.
I get you. All right.
So I want a proper intro. Becky.
You want a proper intro.
The people have been waiting on Becky, and now we've got a legend, a medical legend.
Yeah.
So...
It's all right. Nice. It's all right. So, Denny J lovers, thank you so much for tuning into the show. We are about to get into one of our most favorite interviews. Why I say most favorite, because I don't know where Danny picks these people, but they speak the same language. They speak the same language in terms of decolonizing the African mind.
We are fixing the country.
One person at a time. One person at a time. So with us, we've got a Zimbabwean ophthalmologist who was born in Nyazura. His name is Solomon Guramatunhu. He has been a source of inspiration to many, especially the visually impaired. His character or personality to assist the disadvantaged was nurtured at Waterford Kamhlamba United World College of Southern Africa in Swaziland. That's from 1973 to 1994. I just went back, Danny. 1994, where were you?
We were out on these streets hustling.
I was in grade 4.
Nash, Tadaroba streets. Tadaroba Zimex
Nash,
Mall.
don't lie.
Tadaroba Zimex Mall.
Nash, you were in grade what?
94?
Yes, Nash.
I was in the streets already.
Nash, don't lie.
I remember, similar to what's his name, the road with my dates. I remember 26 January 1994, Takamira Bazimex, Pakona ba Angwa na
26 January.
Yeah. Kuma 10 past 8.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Tane dira da manisa. In Nash.
Urumdara. Respect.
Mono in monos.
In monos term.
Document.
Yeah, you document stuff. So this was where he was taught that everyone has the capacity to do great exploits for the betterment of the human race. And if his work doesn't say it, I don't know what else will say it. So we're just going to quickly go on to his accolades. International Ophthalmologist Education Award, Manager of the Year Award conferred by the Zimbabwe Institute Management, Merit Award as a friend of the Zimbabwe Red Cross Society from the Red Cross Society.
Right.
And he's... Wait. There's some stuff that he did. Hold on.
You want to take a break? Yeah.
No.
Like, okay.
There's some things that he started. There's plenty things that he started. He constructed the Greenwood Park Eye Center, founded the Ophthalmologist Society of Zimbabwe, co-founded Eyes for Africa, and is the current chairman of the organization, which is aided by the Rotary clubs in Zimbabwe and South Africa to offer free surgery to the disadvantaged. And he also founded the Guramatunhu family.
And he was
Trust.
also key in the founding of the Sekuruka Guvi Eye Unit.
There we go. Yes. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Dun, dun, dun. And he loves all things African. Like pure African. I hope my hair pleases him today. And my bare face.
You see? You had to. Ladies and gentlemen,
Dun, dun, dun.
Dr. Solomon Guramatunhu.
Yay! Welcome to the Denny J Show.
Thank you.
We meet again.
Yes.
I mean, that's quite an introduction, man. I mean, the
I love
accolades and
I love it.
all of
I love
this
it.
is a lot of fun.
Especially the things that he founded, because being part of big organizations like that, yeah, anyone can do that.
Yeah.
But like starting things and making sure that they leave a name behind that legacy.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So where shall we start? From the beginning?
Yes, we can start from the beginning. Okay, but before we start from the beginning, I want to tell you the first time I met him. It was during COVID, or like in the safer times,
Okay.
when we were now allowed to go out and people had received their shots and everything. And we were filming a program called Kutsime. Where
Oh, yeah. I saw that, yeah.
with some other lady. So he's going, oh yeah. So I did drama for this man.
No, on the set or what?
On the set.
Oh, yes.
I
Okay.
did drama for him. So we were told, no, there's a doctor who's coming through and he likes women who look like this. And I was thinking, who the heck does he think he is? So come and tell us what we women should look like. And no, and then he walks on set. Shangmari, wango wakango He was so chilled, so calm. He just came on set and commanded this respect. He didn't even open his mouth yet. And we were already like, oh my gosh, we were checking ourselves. Is my dress okay? Is my what? And now we sit, and mind you, he's sitting at the table with 3 young ladies in weaves and full makeup.
Yeah. Becky K style.
And I could tell, based on what I had heard about him now, I could tell that this man was really trying to keep himself calm. They don't know what they are doing. I think the only one who was almost pleasing in his sight was Kanisha, because she had like cornrows. And he was like, she looks lovely. She looks lovely. You, on the other hand, you are lost. He called me lost.
You are Brazilian?
Bob. I had like a bob on.
What nationality?
I don't know.
Brazilian,
I think
Chinese.
it must have been like Peruvian or something.
Something.
Right? He's laughing. And then I said, Doc, do you want us to be walking around? And then I removed my wig.
Yeah.
And people on set were like, oh my gosh, Becky.
It's on.
Why? And then he's seeing my cornrows, like my own hair now. Then he's like, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. I'm like, this man.
I remember I said, that's my girl.
Yes, exactly. You were like, that's my girl. This is beautiful. And I'm like, who's going to walk around with lines like that? And then he's like, you. And I'm like, no. And so I felt like he had this big disconnect between what is actually happening in the streets, in life, and this world that he wants to create. And I'm happy that we are actually going to get into that that whole talk today. But before we get into that whole talk today, that journey of him,
because I know we're going to have some controversy out of his thoughts regarding all this sort of stuff.
Plenty.
Yeah, but Doc, let's start off in Nyazura.
Yes.
Because you're from Nyazura.
Yes.
All right. Take us from Nyazura to today, right? How the journey?
Yeah, I was born in Nyazura and grew up there. My father was one working for Jewish people. My mother was a housewife. We stayed at home. But my mother was very keen on education, so she made sure we'd read and write before we went to grade 1. That's how keen she was on education. So you know how it is in families. The mother is the key. Okay. Whereas the father could be a drunkard or whatever. But if the mother is switched on, kids will be successful. That's my observation. Oh, yes.
True story.
Yeah. So Isusu and Baba, we can think we're important, but no, the most important person is the mother.
Wow.
Donumba Muri. So from there on, I went to do my primary school, then went on to Norway Mission, Kumacheki, from Form 1 to Form 4. Then Form 5, Form 6, that's when I went to Swaziland. From Swaziland, I came to University of Zimbabwe. That's where I did medical school.
Doc,
yes.
Tell us about Swaziland, because you went to an affluent school, right?
Yes.
That was a very affluent school,
yes.
And based on looking at your background, how did you manage to do that? Let's tell us a little bit about it.
You see, my father worked for Jewish people.
Yeah.
And these Jewish people had friends of theirs where their son had been the first head boy of this private multiracial school. So they organized for me. I got a UN scholarship, and I went to this school Form 5, Form 6. It was very interesting because every race was represented. Uyimskano Lindwe Sisulu was Minister of Defense. She was my head girl.
Oh.
And Mandela's daughters, Zenina, Zinze, we were in the same school. They even used to sit on my table at sometimes. So I went to school with all these very interesting people at that time. And this is where ideas were formed, because we used to discuss about politics, about socioeconomic systems, and so on. As young students, right. You're idealistic, you're romantic. And I think most of my thinking today was shaped during that time.
Right.
And even I was in Cuba, because at that time, we realized that the Cuban Revolution, Fidel Castro, Che Guevara, they were very young guys who came from middle-class families, but they felt for society. We should have a society where everybody benefits, not just the elite. And therefore, they had this revolution in Cuba, and I think literacy rate was very low at that time, about 23%, but within a few months, they made literacy 100%. And they gave health to everybody. And that's why today, you see, Cuba is almost the same population as ours. And they've got sanctions, terrible sanctions, since their independence. But they export doctors. They export manpower. Can you think of that? And the people are so healthy. Even basketball, boxing, they compete with the big countries because they've made sure the Cubans are healthy and that they develop the intellect to the optimal levels. So that attracted me. And I remember at that time I said to myself, one day when I have the wherewithal, I would like to visit Cuba.
Right.
And I eventually did it. And that's why my love for dancing started.
Okay, so you went to Cuba and then all of a sudden your blood responded and said, let's do this dancing thing. So did you start dancing in Cuba or like after you came back?
Well, Becky, what happened was, it's actually, part of it is sad because I remember when I got to the airport, Josimati Airport, I got a taxi and I was talking to the taxi driver. And he told me that the best part of his life, he was in Angola, fighting the war in Angola. And a lot of us Africans don't realize this. When Angola got independence and the MPLA was in power, the South Africans at that time, they were occupying Namibia. They wanted to overthrow that government and they went in to almost like 100 meters close to Luanda. They went to overtake that, they just overthrew the government and put on another regime which was favorable to them. And the Cubans came in. And this is a small country. Can you imagine the size of Zimbabwe? Well, it's a small island, but the population. And they came in. And at that time, of course, it was thought that the South Africans were invincible. They had all these Mirage fighters and so on. But when the Cubans came in, they turned the whole thing around. And I remember there was that battle in the Quito Valley in Angola, and the South Africans were surrounded by the Cubans, and they were going to be wiped off. And there was such an outcry in South Africa, all over the world, and then the Americans came in to negotiate. And the Cubans said, okay, we'll withdraw, but give independence to Namibia, and Mandela should be released and all this. It's so smart Africans who don't realize the role of the Cubans. Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Most people don't know. Our problem, Becky, is as far as I can see, I think we're ignorant people. We don't know a lot of things, the history and who we are and what have you. We don't.
Is it not the dissemination of information?
Well, we're going to talk about lots of other things, and which will come back to this point of our ignorance, especially as black people.
Okay.
So when I went there and I went to a club and I saw the Cubans dance salsa. I mean, these guys dance from the heart. And I always say, I traveled a little bit, but they've got this, the French say the joie de vivre, the joy of life. I had never seen people who have, despite the hardships, economic hardships, these people had this joy of life, especially when they dance. And I said to myself, Solomon, you have to acquire these skills, dancing skills by hook or crook. So that's when I came back and I looked for a dancing teacher. I got one. And then I started learning the basics, And the more I learned, the more I loved dancing. And took myself to Buenos Aires, to Argentina, to learn tango.
No.
Yes, I did.
These are bougie dances.
No.
Nash.
No.
Oh, we also have Nash. Nash is joining us today. How are you doing, Nash? Does Nash have a mic?
Yes, he does. Did you not hear him speak?
Oh, nah.
I'm here
He's
today.
just been quiet at Jinsquachi history lesson.
Nash, salsa tango, is that for us?
Mdara wedu ndiwe ari fancy.
Uptown, guys. Uptown. Yeah, but these are bougie dances.
I'm surprised.
Nothing sounds like Nyazura here.
I said I'm surprised he's not wearing his bow tie today.
Yeah. No. You know what he did? He asked me. He said, "What's the dress code?" And I said, "No, please don't wear bow ties today.
Don't do the bow tie.
It puts pressure on us. We just wanted to wear a t-shirt or something." And then he came out looking nice. It's cool, casual.
So are you saying those are bougie dances? Like Africans don't do those?
No, we don't do tango. We do amapiano and other, stuff.
Denny, let me correct you. What I've learned, and I'll come to the story of tango actually. These dances, ese, and salsa, and bachata, and merengue, ramba, cha-cha-cha, they came from Africa. These are actually African dances. And when I went to Argentina and I went there for 10 days, I wanted to learn the history and how to dance tango. So I got a book I went to, my host was a very senior ophthalmologist, an Argentinian. And I got a book in English in his study. It was Christmas time. So, they're like us, the whole family, the aunties, they're all there. So I got into his study, he got this book in English, and I perused this book. I read it so fast. And the book said, you see, Argentina, Buenos Aires is a big port. So what happened was, at that time, the last but 1 century, 30% of the population of Argentina was black. Today, it's less than 1%. This story came up World Cup Russia, because of all the football countries from South America, Argentina and one.
And I hear there's a lot of racism there, right?
Thank you. So now, can you imagine 30% was black? And then these sailors who had been on the sea for weeks and months would come to Buenos Aires. The first place they wanted to visit was the bordello, the brothel. So they come in there and they sit like in a doctor's surgery waiting for their turn. And remember, wherever you have blacks, they are in the inner city.
Okay.
And they are creative. If you look at the history of music, whether it's blues, it's jazz, it's soul,
it's rap, it's whatever.
It all comes from the inner city where the blacks are. So these owners of the bordellos then went to the inner city and got some black people to come and entertain those sailors while they wait. So these guys, big rough guys from the inner city, and they're singing to entertain the sailors. And then they brought in some girls who were very sassy, to join these guys. And these girls would have red stiletto shoes. And they started a movement, and then turn the lady like this. And the lady, because she's, really hyped up, they would run their stiletto shoe up the man's leg.
Yeah.
Get between the legs and kick him.
Yeah.
To tantalize him.
Yeah.
That's how tango dance started. A lot of the world doesn't know this. And I used to speak about this at dinner parties and thought it was crazy. But BBC did the exact program, exactly how tango started. So I also went to Brazil to learn samba. And believe me, all these dances are from us, from Africa.
Danny, which dance do you want to learn? And then we just fly you to the country so you can go and learn.
I'm going to say piano.
So with all this information that you have with the dancing, because we hear you host like really cool parties. I don't know why I haven't been invited to one, because I dance. Becky,
you'll be invited, but I'll tell you this. I have a lot of parties, and that British ambassador was my dancing partner. They were on Carton Line, and a farewell party. She requested to have a farewell party at my house, and everybody came, all the ambassadors. So every race comes to the parties, but you'll never ever see a black lady with a weave or wig at my house. Never ever.
What do you?
I think we're getting too early. We're getting too early into this one. Producer, I think. Yeah. I think.
I think my slave queen do gonna figure my wig and my weave.
No, I'm just saying. Dog said no slave queens at his house.
Did he said women who wear wigs and weave?
That's you. That's you, Becky. You can't. You can't.
Can
go
you see
to
the
the
smoke
party.
coming out of my ears?
You can't go to the party.
This is why you're not invited.
Yeah. Oh, now we were trying to hide it, but now it's out there.
I wanted you to come because
out there.
my invites.
Hey.
Gave us some invites, but
It's just cool.
Danzina
Okay.
Doc, I can come through to the house. Okay.
All right. So before we get into the hair, let's just tackle the background real quick, Doc. I want, for perspective, some people might not know Dr. Guramatunhu. I wonder who that is, though, but let's just go through it. I think, as part of your background, I think from when you got your qualifications, you came back into the country.
Yes.
You were a key person in the formation of the Sekuruka Gui I unit at Parenyatwa, amongst a whole lot of other things. Ministry of Health, Chief Government, Ophthalmic Surgeon, Head of Sekuruka Gui I unit. Are you still the head of it to this day?
No.
Okay.
Younger people now.
Yeah.
The thing what we were able to do was I had the privilege to start the training of eye specialists at the University of Zimbabwe.
Right.
And it was a fun time for me because, I was young, I was active, to look for equipment all over the world to set up the department because it was very basic at that time. And therefore we could do other things that we never used to do, corneal transplants, laser machines, all different things. And then the other thing, of course, I did was I was chairman of Bindura University of Science Education for 10 years. And during that time, we were able to build a new library. And we didn't have a school of optometry. We went to Magraza. So I had the privilege to have our company, Optinova, have a private-public partnership near Bindura University. Right. So we set up the first school of optometry at Bindura University. And then, of course, we did, Eyes for Africa, and we went around the whole country doing free surgeries, cardiac surgeries, Marzeva. And then also we did surgery with some colleagues in Zambia, and also in Namibia, and in Angola, and also went to Vietnam.
When you do free surgeries, who covers that bill?
Well, at that time, we always worked with Sea International Surgical Expeditions, which was started by Harry Brown. He's late now, but he became a close friend, and he came to visit Zimbabwe 3 times. But we also had corporates here. At that time, the economy was doing well, so we had banks like NMB and other companies, chipping in. But a lot of the stuff that we used came from the States.
So when you do these, this is more like towards your philanthropy work, right?
Well, it was basically, we have this idea that, especially us as black people, we're always looking for help from others.
Is it bad? You make it sound like it's bad.
No, but see, we should be able to help one another, to help ourselves.
Okay.
Because we have the resources, we have everything. If we channel everything back to our systems, then we should do well. Because the other people who do well, when I'm not Singapore, they're just human like us, but they take care of themselves, take care of their own people. I think we should also do that.
Yeah. So through your Eyes for Africa project, how many people have benefited from free surgery?
Denny, I don't have exact figures right now, but I know we talking definitely anything between 50 and 100,000. Because it went on for quite some years, and also the different countries that we went to. Nice.
So how important is this for you when you do this sort of work?
I must say I was very active that time, but I've slowed down now. The young guys who do these eye camps now, I don't do them anymore. I've left everything in the department. Also, the younger people who are training, so they're running with these things now.
So what are you focusing on now? You keep referring back to I've left the young people.
Yes. I have to cut you guys. I think we jumped a lot of stages.
Yeah.
We went from Swaziland, then we went to Cuba, but I want to know how did he get to where he is now? Chazoshika say after university, what happened?
Okay,
vapindura
apa vachipedza kupindura apa vobva vati right from university ndakazodai. With all the work that you've done, just like what Denny was saying, you've now left most of it for the young people.
Yes.
What is Doc focusing on now?
Now, I don't know this part, but I'm an investor. Yes. And it's an interesting story. There was a white guy, Roy Turner. He's very famous on the stock market in this country. He's late now. And when I got to know about this guy, I looked at the stock market. They have these books and like the top 20 shareholders in every company. This man was all over. So I tried to find out about him, and I happened that he was single. He lived a very simple life in Avondale. And at one time, this man was worth more than 100 million. Simple guy. And I thought, wow, how did this guy do it? So I realized now the importance of investing, because you can work very hard. You can do lots of things. But to become wealthy, you need to be able to invest. So I said to myself, okay, I'm going to be the black Roy Turner. So I started a stock market. This was many years ago. And if, those who are in the know, like Naimara Edwards, if you look at the books, the stock market, you'll see Guramatunhu Family Trust appeared a lot in many companies, on a ZB, on a GG, and so on and so forth. So that became an interest of mine. And then, of course, I got involved in art, appreciation of art, and I invest in art. And of course, I got lots of hobbies that I do, like the dancing. It's a special thing for me, and also a lot of scuba diving. And I love traveling a lot. So when you come to the investments, you say, what do I do now? I got stuck in India in 2020. I'd gone there for 6 weeks. Then COVID came. No flights in or out of India. So I was stuck in a hotel for 4 months. And I had time to think about a lot of things because I was all by myself. And that's when I discovered Bitcoin, blockchain technology. And I studied it. I learned a lot about it. And I bought my first Bitcoin in June 2020. And Becky, I need to be honest with you, and this is why I talk to young people. Now I'm mentoring a lot of young people. You talk what I do, yeah. I mentor a lot of young people. They come to my house. I teach them what I know. I share knowledge with them. And what I remember vividly is buying this Bitcoin at $6,000, June 2020. November 2021, it was 69,000. I said, how is that possible? How is that possible? So I then really joined groups. I did subscribe. I paid their subscription fees to a lot of organizations, and I started delving into this. And then I realized this is where the world is going to. And when I teach youngsters, I show them, they're quite funny, what they call meme coins. Trump. There's one called Trump MAGA. And I was showing these youngsters the other day. I said, look at it, because they give you the all-time low. It was like 1 cent. So if you bought $1 million, that's 10,000. And it went up to $17 after about 8 months, which means if you bought $1 million at 1 cent, and when it's $15, that's 15 million. In about 8 months, I said, this is crazy. So I teach a lot of youngsters, say, you know what? If you want to create wealth, you can do this in a very smart way, because all you need is knowledge and the internet.
But Doc, okay, coming to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Of course, Bitcoin has been on top of news all over the world, we know, good and bad.
Yeah.
And there's been, I think there was that lady who ripped the whole world of a lot of money with her Bitcoin or whatever. Yeah. Would you recommend people to do Bitcoin when they can do regular business? Because there are risks involved, and also there's a trust element.
Yeah.
A lot of people who, there are so many coins.
Well, remember, Denny, I got scammed too. Remember, it was all in papers.
108,000.
No.
It was more?
No. The initial theft was just under 500,000. And then
$500,000.
Yeah, US.
Doc, this is casino with big money.
No.
No, she's in this casino. 500K?
And then later, another 100,000. Now, I'll tell you what. For my case, of course, is in the courts, but it's simple. I can tell you exactly what happened.
Yeah.
The guy just stole my password.
So okay.
But see, he won't get away with it, because the beauty about cryptocurrencies, it can be traced to where the person cashed it in. But everything can be traced.
Doc, is it that simple? Because I know criminals prefer to get paid. Like when criminals hijack somebody or they take someone as a hostage, most of the time they talk about getting paid in Bitcoin because it's difficult to trace their identity, right? Or something. Am I correct, Nash?
Yeah.
You've heard the story. They don't want to be paid cash because cash can be traced. But Bitcoin, you can pretty much just be behind a wall on the internet.
Germany last week was selling Bitcoins which they'd confiscated. So it gets confiscated at some point. And the US, I was just listening this morning, they've got about 20,000 Bitcoins which have been confiscated. What happens is people do this. But see, most exchanges have the KYC, know your customer. So if you had a deal today, remember it goes on public ledger. And it's immutable. In other words, you can't change it. So whatever deal we do today, the world knows straight away. And nobody can change it. So 6 months later, 10 years later, people can trace it. And they just have to get the KYC where the exchange was. And the pinpoint. See, like in my case, the financial intelligence unit of the Reserve Bank were able to trace some of my stuff. So it's only a question of time before we wrap it up. So that's why I'm not even worried about it.
So, Doc, you're saying if I have my $5,000, instead of me going to the market to buy my wares and sell on the street, I can invest 5,000 and then tomorrow I have 100,000.
No, not like that.
It doesn't sound right.
No, but what I can tell you, I know for a fact, and I can show it to you.
Yeah.
You could invest 5,000 and you end up with $1 million.
Can I give you 5,000? I have it in the
No, don't give it to me. With investments, what you need is education. And you must take responsibility for investments. So that when things go wrong, it's your responsibility, not my responsibility. The problem why people will get scammed is that somebody comes, give me 5,000, I'll make it 10,000 by next week, whatever, and you believe it. It's not true. It's not possible. What you need to do is you need to get educated about these investments, about blockchain technology, about Bitcoin and the other cryptocurrencies. Because I've spent time reading about this and doing this stuff. Once you understand that Bitcoin is limited, and you must remember how it started. When they had the financial crisis in 2008 and 2009 in the States, and I think Lehman Brothers went down, and other banks were going to go down, but the other banks were saved. Basically, what did they do? They were given money by the U.S. government, by the Federal Reserve. Where did they get the money? They printed it. Just like what we are doing in Zimbabwe, printing. So people don't realize that the US is also fiat currency. They just print it. And people don't realize that of all the countries in the world, the country with the worst debt, 34 trillion, is the US. And they'll never be able to pay it off. But people don't realize it. So when you have the US, they don't think, I've got real money. No. Bitcoin is digital gold. And it's interesting now because, the biggest asset management company called BlackRock, they have about 10 trillion assets under management. They used to say, no, this is a scam. Look, this is intrinsic value. But now they're the ones who are at the forefront. And they're given these exchange-traded funds. And all the big guys like Fidelity and them, they're all into Bitcoin now. And El Salvador, there's got this young guy, Nayib Bukele, the president. He made Bitcoin legal tender in El Salvador, and it is one of the poorest countries, the worst crime rate. And everything has changed now, and everybody's trooping to El Salvador. You see, we as a country, Zimbabwe, with all these sanctions, if we just bought Bitcoin, and I advise people who invest even...
you make it sound so easy, if we just bought Bitcoin.
Yes. But it's going to go up.
But we've seen so many cases of scams. People getting scammed.
This is what I'm telling you, Denny. We get scammed because people don't have the information. If you have the education, what I've learned over the years, don't trust anyone with your investments. Be responsible.
Do it for yourself.
Yes.
So when you got you said someone stole your password. It wasn't about
No, it was just straight theft. And as I say, we're tracing everything. You see. If you have the education, you know the cycles. We know when to get in, when to get out. And that's how people become very rich.
Yeah, but you see, I think for the good Dr. Becky, it's easy for him to take these gambles because he's worth a lot of money.
No, but he's worked his way to get that.
I know.
Money.
He has accumulated a lot of wealth over time.
Yeah.
He's 70, right? So now there comes Becky with her only $5,000.
Sure, but don't say only.
No, Jenny, let me correct you. There's an academy called Indreda's Academy. These are Zimbabweans in South Africa. These guys have made ordinary people security guards, nurses, ordinary people, millionaires in rands. People who put in 1,000 rand and end up with $1 million. And I said to them, guys, you are enriching South Africans. Why don't you come to Zimbabwe? And they've been here, and we come here, it's full house. Why do I talk about investments? Our problem as black people is poverty, and especially poverty of the mind. This is why, we get abused by other races. We're looking for aid, we're looking for that, we're looking for that. If we have our own wealth, nobody can push us around. Nobody can convince us to do that are not in our interests. And, I've got a few projects still that I'm doing. I'm right now building a school, an academy for kids. And the reason I decided to go to build this school is I just looked at our poverty as people. Because I was thinking all the time, how come Mumbai is 22 million people? Beijing is 23 million people. Shanghai is 29 million people. Delhi is 35 million. We're only 15, 16 million people. And we have diamonds, we have gold, we have platinum, lithium, all these minerals. And, more than 60 different minerals. And our soils, our climate can grow anything. Whether you want blueberries or strawberries, we've got tea, cotton, we've got coffee, sugar. But there's so much poverty. And my conclusion was that it's a mindset problem.
Let me hold you on that thought and take you back. I don't know how many years back I'm going to take you, because obviously you were a young person before. And that whole poverty mindset, was it like that in the time when you were in university, as you were working your way to be this eye surgeon, ophthalmologist in the horizon? You could see it. It was there. Was that poverty mindset something that Black people were still struggling with? Or is this poverty mindset like a new age thing?
I think it was also always there. And I'll tell you where it came from. With us, it came from slavery and being colonized. It's just that the manifestations are different at different times of our lives.
Okay.
But we have, in my view, an enslaved mindset and a colonized mindset.
Was your mind enslaved and colonized?
I think so, yes. As I grew up, when I grew up, we thought other races are better than us, white people are better than us, everything, their hair is better than us, their skin is better than us, they're cleverer than us, and so on. Until I went to this school, I went to the multiracial school when I was in class, and I could see, these people, they're not as smart as I thought. I'm smarter than them. And the Indians were there, the Chinese were there in school. They realized, no. I'm just as good as they are, And that really helped me a lot. And that's why I think that in trying to change the mindset, we concentrate on kids. And this school we are studying now, we start with early childhood development. And these kids must learn 5 things. Number 1, they should all be computer literate. And I would say that if I had my way, every child in Zimbabwe must be computer literate, and they should have a computer. Number 2, these kids must have a financial literacy. It's very important so that they understand about commodities and everything else. They understand about creation of wealth, so that by the time in the grade 3, grade 4, they can even trade on stock exchanges. Number 3, blockchain technology. I really believe this is the way of the future. And right now, because only a small percentage of people understand it, if you go in early, and if I had, one day I can show you what I mean by that, because I've seen how wealth can be created. Honestly, in a very short time, you can create lots of multimillionaires in a very short time if they understand blockchain technology.
Doc,
Number 4, let me just finish.
Okay.
Number 4, art. Zimbabwe is a powerhouse in terms of art. Our artists are creating waves all over the world. And people like Portia Joaera, their work is being sold for 400,000 a piece. And you can buy it here at the National Gallery or around here for maybe buy it for 2,000 or 5,000. But imagine selling it for 400,000. So some people understand this, but we don't understand it. We don't give them the due respect. And when I give talks on art, I always say, if other people from elsewhere appreciate and invest in our art more than we do, we run the risk of being powerful, maybe very wealthy, maybe very well educated, but not enlightened. Number 5, knowledge of self. I think kids must know from an early age who they are, their history, their culture. They don't know that even their attributes, that they have the best hair of all the races, the best skin of all the races, the best lips, the best behinds, and all that. They need to be taught at an early age.
Best behinds, I like that. I like that. They do though. Yeah. All right. So I was about you talk of blockchain technology a lot. Yeah. Are you able to tell me like how much money you've made from blockchain? Because then we can really get inspired, right?
No.
Because I'm looking at 5,000 being a million, and I know you're worth a whole lot. So I'm saying like a ballpark figure.
No, Denny, I don't discuss money
Nash,
like that.
Nash, don't we want to get inspired?
I think
Like,
what you should
Doc,
do.
you must inspire us.
When you have Wi-Fi, I'll take you and I'll show you. We go on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, and I'll show you and the figures are there for you to see. Set like where the figures are. If you invested at this particular time, say in October last year, and by this year, if you'd put in $1,000, maybe now you'd have 10 million. I can show you that.
But there's some serious science behind this, right? You can't just say, I've got money, let me put it.
No. You need knowledge. You see, our problem is knowledge. And as I said before, our problem with black people is just ignorance.
Danny wants to give you $5,000.
No, I don't want his money.
It to be a million.
No. I want him to learn how to invest. I want him to understand blockchain technology. I want him to be able to do it for himself. So what we can do is teach him how to do it. Teach him how to understand it. That's the key thing.
Okay, Monday morning I'm at your office, Doc.
You're most welcome.
Nash.
You're most welcome.
Nash, we're busy trying to find projects, and then we can just make money online.
Yeah.
I don't think it's for everybody, though.
It is.
Money is for everybody, Becky.
Money is for everybody, but
How you get it don't matter.
internet, stock exchange,
Now, because
Bitcoin.
we're really scared.
But,
We used to go in to buy stuff for 5,000, and then we mark it up and we sell it for 10,000. Then we go back and we buy
By the
stuff for 10,000. You know, I mean, the process takes forever. But
you make your money.
At least you're not going to wake up with nothing. I mean, there are people
It's
who
not
have
gonna
woken up
disappear.
with $0 from a positive balance, right?
Especially if you buy the wrong cryptocurrency, the wrong coin. And that's where the education comes in. Because, for instance, when somebody presents to you with a token, cryptocurrency, they talk about the 5 T's, that token should have utility. And secondly, you must understand the technology behind the token. And 3, you must understand the team who build it up, because there are a lot of scammers, just come up with a token, they pump it up and then they dump it. So you need to understand that. Then what they call tokenomics, because sometimes, they come with a token and they just put a few in the public domain and they keep the rest. So they pump it up when it's up there, they throw it on the market, and then people are left just holding an empty bag. And of course, the timing, because you see, Bitcoin, it has a 4-year cycle. So, it's the top. Like they did 69,000, came down to 16,000, then stayed there. So that was the first phase. Then second phase is just stays down there. Then now she's in the third phase, it's bullish. Then it will go parabolic. So now, next time high, it will probably be more than 100,000. And if you look at what Fidelity and other people say, the big investment firms, they say one Bitcoin is going to be $1 million, one. So, and Fidelity say 2038, I think it will be 1 billion. So this is information available. And because one has an interest in creating wealth for the particular projects that I have in my life, because I've said to myself, between now and when I'm on my deathbed, there's some things I would like to do. My contribution maybe to my country or to the continent or to the black race for that matter. There's things I want to do. And that's why I'm trying to create this wealth.
Nice. Okay, you're very passionate about cryptocurrency. Let's talk about regular business, because I know you are also a regular business person. And some of us are really more excited about, that type of business. You're big on real estate and other exploits. Let's talk about that. Apart from the Greenwood Center, the eye center that you own.
Well, yeah, Green Park Eye Center. Then we have Optinova.
Yeah,
the
Optinova
company. Yeah,
yeah.
And as you mentioned, the real estate, the apartment, hotel, and so on. I feel embarrassed to discuss the personal things.
Doc, we want to inspire the people.
Especially, I'm interested in young people. Actually, so I like to mentor young people, and I've really said I'd like to create a few multimillionaires of young people, and this is very feasible. And I think I have the know-how to do it. And we also have a crypto hub at Newlands. Yeah.
I think he's a crypto hub. I think he's trying to get the young people's mind away from the normal way of doing business or the normal way of investing. Like when you talk investment, the first thing everyone will talk about is real estate. You go onto the internet, everyone is talking about
but it's safer.
How to make
I want to pick his mind.
I think he wants to get your mind away from safe and go into the Bitcoin, into the
I will do that
cryptocurrency.
one time as wishes, doctor. But for now, we want to do the safe stuff.
Jenny, I hear you. That's why we talk about diversification.
Yeah.
I'm still in real estate, and of course, there are other entities that give me a regular income.
Yeah.
But the knowledge I have today is that, boy oh boy, you can get people extremely rich in a very short time if they understand blockchain technology. You know, there are things like artificial intelligence. It's a big thing now if you know how to invest in it. That's big. And then they're talking about tokenization of real world assets, where all these assets, whether it's bonds, even real estate, is going to be tokenized. It will go to blockchain. There are just so many things now that are going to go on blockchain. So if you understand that and you go in early, you're going to be fabulously wealthy. There's no question about that.
You spoke about a very defining moment when you were in India.
Yes.
In 2020.
Yeah.
That happened while you were like way older. Is there another defining moment when you were younger? Let's say maybe after university, before university, where you literally said, this is the life that I'm going to live, or this is not the life that I'm going to live, and I'm going to be a doctor. Did you want to be a doctor?
Yes. Because that guy was the first head boy of Waterford School. He the one who got me a place in the school and got me a scholarship. He was a medical student that time in London. He was half Jewish, half Scottish, and he was now he's a professor in he's just retired now in London. He's the one who asked me when he was here. He came here for 3 years. He just volunteered to come and teach medicine here. He's the one who asked me. He said, "Solomon, why do black women wear these weaves and wigs when they have beautiful hair?" He's the one who asked me. No, I swear to you. He asked me. And you know, I didn't know what to say, actually.
Was that your way of thinking before he asked you about that? But before you answer, please, let's not dwell on the hair.
I agree.
Because the hair, we're getting there.
Yeah.
Yes, I also want to be geared up and ready for you.
The case, the maniacs. We're going for the maniacs.
Maniac. Did you always want to be a doctor?
Well, when I met this guy after my O-levels, and he got me a place in this private school. He was a medical student in Middlesex Hospital in the UK. And he impressed me so much, just his whole demeanor and just the kind of person he was. And I said to myself, I wanted to be a doctor too, like him. That's when I made up my mind. So by the time I did A-levels, I knew I was going to go into medicine. And then after that, I came to University of Zimbabwe, did medical school. Then for my house jobs, I went to Mpilo Hospital in Blue Air. And that time I did internship or housemanship. Instead of surgery, I did obs and gynae, and I fell in love with it. So,
Obs and gynae?
Yeah, obstetrics and gynecology are women.
Gynae?
Yes. And I told myself I was going to be a gynecologist. I just loved it. And I think the women loved me too.
Is that because of your love of the anatomy of the woman?
Denny. Denford.
So,
He was a good doctor. Okay.
So unfortunately, what happened, it was around independence. The consultants in Mobs and Gynae left Mpilo. Then I thought, and then the department actually went down, and I said to myself, well, if I stayed in the department, I'll lose my love for Obs and Gynae. I must do something else, hoping that the department would improve. So I went to do eyes. And eyes was very different from Obs and Gynae. And then I was thinking, what should I do now? And then one lady came, she was a white lady from the Ministry of Health, and she said to me, we're looking for someone who can do eyes. And you look like the right type of guy, and we'll give you a scholarship to go overseas to study. And I said, that sounds attractive. So I took the scholarship. And when I went, at that time, you could do the first exam, like to become a fellow of the Royal College of Surgeons. There's an exam, part 1. And then that same part 1, you could also use it for Obs and Gynae. But for Obs and Gynae, you could do what they call a membership, MRCOG, membership of the member of the Royal College of Obs and Gynae. So I did both exams, and I passed my exams. And I was passing my exams all very quickly. And then they just looked for me in the big department there. They said, we have a chap here. because they knew I'd passed all my exams, and they gave me a job in the eye department.
Okay.
And I was debating every night, should I stay in eyes or go to Opthalmologist? So in the department, there was a senior registrar who was Indian, but he was British. And we call him the chief. And he called me the black man.
Okay.
And he still calls me the black man. And I had a friend from Nepal, and he used to call him the yellow man. So after a clinic, we were sitting in a pub. And so he had the Indian chief, me, the black man, and the yellow man. And I said, Chief, I'm still debating. I've got all my exams now. I just have one more exam to become a gynecologist. And I've got, I did the diploma and the fellowship to become a ophthalmologist. I'm debating. So he looks at me and says, oh, black man, I know you so well. You stay above the waist. That was it.
Right.
Prisaka.
You stay above the waist.
Stay above the waist.
So you took this advice.
Yes.
And you stayed above the waist.
Yeah, the eyes are above the waist.
The eyes are above. Like, keep your eyes up here. Up here.
So that's how we got into.
Yeah, that's so I stayed, and it's worked well for me because then coming back, I had the privilege to contribute, significantly in terms, the department. There was nothing there, build up the department, start training.
This is at
ophthalmologists, right? Yes, as well as start the school for optometry, as well as do Eyes for Africa.
So if you were to do it again, you'd still choose.
Yes, but the other things I could do, because I like, I like arts and so on. So maybe I'll do even something like plastic surgery and stuff like that. Yeah, but there's so many things in medicine that you can do.
Right.
So this role of chief government ophthalmic surgeon, this was a role that was created for you, right? Did it exist before you?
I don't know. I'm not sure actually, because there were two old ophthalmologists, Dr. Peacock, and I think that when I came in, I think that post was vacant.
Oh, right. But you are a trailblazer in this field, because when a lot of people talk about eyes, the first name that comes to mind is Dr. Guramatunhu. Do you think that the fact that you started this early on was a big advantage for you? Because I'm sure nowadays there's a lot more.
Sure. Well, I think the main thing, because of maybe my contributions, in the sense that you come to a department, it's got nothing, you start building it up, and then you start a training program for that, a postgraduate program. So we train our own eye specialists, and also the fact that we went out to actually help people in the rural areas and so on. So people became aware. So it's funny, because even now when people go to an eye camp, patients will say, "Oh, Guramatunhu came," but I wasn't even there. They just mentioned my name. Oh, he was operating Marunda, and I've never operated Marunda, But so it happens like that.
So when you came back from overseas, and then you were doing this work for the government and so on, how many ophthalmologists were there in the country? What sort of numbers could we look at?
No. See, I was the first black ophthalmologist. There were two.
Nice. All right. No. I think let's give you some claps.
Yeah.
The very first one.
Yeah, and so that's why it was important for me to start training, so that others would also train.
Yeah, and because you were the first one, it must have made you a lot of money. Because I remember whenever you had a problem with the eyes.
Forgive Denny.
I'm about the money, Doc.
He's all about the Benjamins.
Doc, I'm about the money.
He's all about
Denny,
the money.
I'm going to mentor you. I'm going to teach you,
please, Doc,
how to make money cleanly.
Okay.
You got Denny deals.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, but I mean, with the strategies you have, Doc.
Yes.
I've got like 5,000. I needed to be $1 million within 2 months. I need to buy something.
Auntie Shonina, dog, bring that 5,000, but don't give it to me.
I'll teach you.
I'll teach you what to do with that 5,000.
Okay. He said cleanly. He's not talking about goat schemes here.
Okay, no goats, Doc.
Right. Okay.
That wasn't my shot. Okay, Becky. Becky like that one. You like that one.
You're just getting started. While we're on that talk, you say you like to speak to young people about investments.
Yes.
Do you hold like classes? Do you do them at universities? Do you have a place where young people come through to meet? Do you get invited to come through and speak? How does it work?
I get invited a lot. I think the last one was JCI, Junior Chambers International.
Okay.
And from that, there are 4 youngsters want to be mentored by me. So they come to my house, we see, we have a drink, have a meal, and I teach them.
What have you picked about the young people's minds right now? Mine, Denny. Well, I don't know if Denny, should we call you young?
To my elders.
Dara. Like the ones who want to make, because every black man in Zimbabwe, I don't think there's anyone who wants to make money like Zimbabwean men, right? They want to make money.
That's normal.
And buy a Rolls Royce first before
Thank
a
you.
house.
No, I think this is where we get it wrong. I think when we make money, that money, I always say, money itself is not important. It's what it can do. That's important. I have youngsters coming to me all the time. And that's how the Guramatunhu Family Trust started. You have a guy who comes and says, Doctor, I lost my parents. I passed my A-levels. I've got a place for medicine. But I don't have any school fees or tuition fees. And that's, so we say, okay, fine. We prove the case. Yes, he's got a place. His results are good. Then we started paying for them.
Oh, okay. Doc, wait, hold on.
Nash, are you smiling?
So they kept coming. Even this week, every day this week, I had youngsters coming. They got placed in universities. They don't have place in.
And is this for med students only?
No.
Okay.
I have a different Bindura. We have some UZ. We have some Chinoya. I have some MSU. I have in School of Mines in Blue Nast. So in Solusi University, I've had quite a few there. Right. So we started just paying for them, and we still pay for some. Sometimes the numbers are just too much. You don't want to help more, and this is why I actually invest, so that I can help more.
Oh wow,
that's the whole idea.
Why is this so important to you? Because you speak about it with so much passion. Why is it so important to help strangers?
Well, if
that's harsh.
I was not lucky, if I did not get the assistance I got to go to a private school, I wouldn't have had the privilege that I have. And I insist today that the difference between me and the security guard or my gardener is opportunity.
I like that.
That's what makes the difference.
I like that.
Okay. So it's very important that we create opportunities for others. Because at the end of it, if you think of it, we're not here forever. We live, and then our time comes, and we check out of this world.
Yeah.
The question is, so what did we do? We could make millions and billions of money. And then, of course, as you know, when we leave, we don't take it with us. But wouldn't it be wonderful to have made a difference in so many? Because for me, it's been fascinating, where you take a youngster. I remember one time went to my village. I was, and I wanted to see where my parents are buried. I always go, pay my respects. And I went to the headman, because you have to go to the headman first before you go to the cemetery. And I saw some young guy, a small boy, and he's just sitting with his granny. And I said, his wife of the headman. I said, what is he doing? Oh, no, he's finished his O-levels, but we don't have money to send him to school. The father disappeared. The parents are divorced. So I said, okay, send him to school. I pay for him, goes to high school. But he's just one of many. And then he went to do A-levels, and they sent him to Solusi. He wanted to do marketing. And I said, young man, what are you going to market? Do accountancy, because people are looking for accountants. So he did accountancy. He's done very well. And he came, and he did auditing 1 year after that. And now he's, he writes for the magazine. He appears on TV in finance. And the day he graduated in Solus, I was invited as a guest speaker. And there's another one who's in India now. I met him at Bon Marché, near where I live near Borodalbrook. And this guy used to push the trolleys. And he was such a pleasant young man. So I said, young man, what do you want to do with your life? He says, it's very difficult. My mother died, and my father remarried. And My 2 sisters couldn't stay home because it was very difficult. They left. And I said, so what do you want to do? He said, I want to do IT. Where in India? So I said, okay, let's look for a place. So we got a place in India. And I sent him over there, and they did extremely well undergraduate. Now he's doing postgraduate as we speak. So now in India, he's now a model at the university. So companies, and he's getting involved in movies. And to see the transition, the transformation of this young man, it's sort of thing that makes you happy. Then I feel my life is worthwhile.
I think it's good when you like sponsor someone's fees and they actually do good.
I'm sure you get a lot of satisfaction with that. I think it's similar to like when even with your Eyes for Africa project, when someone who hasn't been seeing for years suddenly just is able to see. And I think that must make you feel some type of way. I'm just imagining. I mean, it must be fantastic, right?
It is. It's
and everybody needs to get to feel that at some point.
I think we should. And in everybody in our own small way, we can help change other people's lives. Doesn't matter. You don't need a lot of money to do that. Just maybe give them your time, or you share skills with them, whatever. Or maybe they just are going through a very tough period in their lives, and they need someone to listen to. So I just, I say to young people, I now believe if you meet someone, you don't even know them, just meet them. The first thing in your mind should be, how can I help this person to make their life better?
Yay.
Just that. How can I help this person to make their life better? Now imagine if we all do that, what kind of a society we create.
Nash, how can I make your life better?
My USD.
Madi? USD. Don't my response, I think it's one.
No, that's okay. And they'll say, okay, fine. So now with the knowledge that I have, and this is why people will say, but doctor, he wants USD. And I can help him to sit down with him and say, you know what? Invest like this, and you'll make money. Because I have the knowledge.
So my helping Nash will be linking Nash with you.
Yes.
Yes. Nash, I'll link you with Doc.
Please.
Soon after this.
And also, I want to be happy in life.
You want to be...
you want too much. You want too much.
You want too much. No, everybody...
You want money or you want to be happy?
No, I think everybody wants that little bit of happiness.
What do you want?
It comes with some form of peace. I think
do you know why I say that? Because I see Doc is very happy, very kind, very humble, and also very successful.
He's content. He's at peace.
How do you know he's happy?
No, because
look at him.
Look at maybe him. Whenever he helps people, that's where he's getting happiness from. So he's unhappy, but so he has to help people so that he stays happy.
No. But the point is, and this is, I think it's a fact. When we make other people happy,
it brings you happiness.
We also become happy.
Yeah.
And people who are cruel and do terrible things to others, whether torture people, just being nasty to other people, believe me, in them, there's unhappiness. They might not realize it, but how does it make you happy to make somebody suffer? How?
Yeah,
make it make sense.
But you know what I think? I think with the dog, I think when you get a certain amount of money, you're able to see things differently. When you're broke, you're just bitter.
You're just bitter. You're just angry.
So I would love God to bless me to be levels of the dog.
With all these years of success, what makes you happy? What do you do that besides the?
Yeah. I have a very simple lifestyle, and I know exactly what I like now. So my day's routine. Like today's a Sunday, right? Monday to Saturday, I wake up. I do yoga. Just before 6:00. Then my trainer comes and he trains me for an hour, and it's really tough going. So I do boxing and do lunges of weights, and I've got a gym as well at home. And after training, I swim, and I always swim naked because I feel so free.
I like it.
Skinny dipping. The doctor.
Tell us about it, Doc.
The doctor be skinny dipping.
Tell us about it, Doc.
Nash, are you okay? You asked the question.
Yeah.
No.
Are you all right?
There's an answer, right?
There's a reason for everything Doc is saying.
Yeah, talk to us, Doc.
Let's get into it.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
The reason I swim naked is I feel so free. So it doesn't matter how cold it is. Even when it was very cold, every day I was swimming. So even today I swam. I noticed that Putin, he swims in ice cold water in winter. And Chairman Mao used to do the same thing in China. And so I feel like I'm in good company.
Oh my God.
But it's very, someone
It's liberating.
Liberating. And now, even when I'm in Europe in winter, I never use hot water, I just cold showers.
Hey, but
So cold showers.
Cold showers, and I swim in cold water.
Doc,
by choice.
could you
by choice.
please explain to us yoga and African men, because it's something new
Thank
to
you.
us.
I was like,
And I hear, I hear there's a lot of sexual benefit as well to it.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you that if you talk about sexual benefits, yoga for sure, because yoga makes you very supple and very flexible, and also endurance.
so does Pilates, or why not
Yes,
do Pilates
Pilates.
as opposed to yoga?
You can do Pilates. I decided to do yoga. And the other thing that people don't realize is the positive effects of dancing. 50% of the body's nerves and blood vessels are in the legs. When people get old, the first thing to go are the legs. That's why all people have problems, getting up and so on. And they fall, they have fractures. So they recommend that as you get older, you must walk. All people must walk these 5Ks or 10Ks, whatever it is, to keep their legs strong. But dancing is even better than walking, because you're moving the whole time. And besides that, a lot of people now are getting dementia and Alzheimer's disease. They found that the only activity, or not the only, but the most effective activity to prevent senile dementia and Alzheimer's disease is dancing. That's why you find people in Europe, in older people's homes, they're dancing salsa, the old people and so on. So I encourage everyone to dance. Now, for me, socially, when I had my birthday, a very good friend decided to host it for me on Pius Street in Borodale. I danced from 3 in the afternoon to 2 in the morning, non-stop. And because now I've got these skills, Nash, I'm telling you, every lady wanted to dance with me.
So I'm dancing. I'm signing up. I'm signing up for this shit.
I was also about to ask you, because you're so successful and very famous. How do you handle the women?
Because we know they do come.
You're already doing your
Superstar.
already swimming naked.
Superstar veteran surgeon.
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin mogul.
Well traveled. Look way younger.
Honolulu is just a phone call away.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Let's do this, baby.
How are you resisting this slay queen?
What is the secret to your resistance?
You and slay queen. Chico. Just say women. Just say women.
Slay queens.
Oh, gosh. They ain't coming near him.
No, but I want to know, how does a successful man like him resist all this?
Nash, to be honest with you, in my young days, I made my mistakes, like most men do. And what I realized that some of the mistakes are very costly as you get older. And what is sex? People have sex because you want to please the other person, and they want to please you too. I mean, if that is not the
No. We go in for ourselves. Me and Nash, we go in.
No.
It's gonna last 2 minutes.
Listen to the doctor.
If you're not gonna come through in 2 minutes, you're on your own.
How selfish.
I play.
He needs to do some
No,
yoga.
I'm playing. Dog,
Do some salute to
my
the
minimum is
sun,
30
my
minutes.
guy.
30 minutes straight.
You're a liar.
I'm going to tell you something funny.
I've never heard a man say that.
30 minutes minimum. Shit.
I've never heard a man.
It's my birthday party when I was dancing, with all these ladies.
You're getting excited.
One lady came to me and says, "Doctor, you've been dancing all this time. You never get tired. Please talk to my husband." And then another one was so direct to me. He says to me, "You're so energetic. You got all these moves on the dancing floor, and you never seem to get tired. Are you like that in bed?"
The doc is out here marketing himself on the dance floor. Play.
That was so funny. I mean, it was really funny. Yeah. And the other ladies told me that everyone was asking, "This guy, is he normal Because when I'm on the dance floor, I just never rest. I just dance throughout the night.
Yeah.
And you also know the dog is well traveled, so you know he's been around the world.
Aye.
Anything else, Nash? You answered. Did the dog answer you?
No, he didn't
So
answer
from now
the
on, we're
yoga
going
part
this-
of things and African men, because yoga is spiritual. And I think I tried it until it got to my instructor at that time was so deep into this whole yoga thing, and
No, but there's hatha yoga, which are they call them the asanas. You know, the asanas,
thank you.
the positions and all this. And then there's the Raja Yoga, which is more meditation. Both, complement each other, and they're very important. And I do both, and it just calms you down. And then the positions, it means,
it's good stretching. It's really good stretching.
I can still stand on my head even now.
No way.
Yes.
With your legs straight up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, or even I can up or bend them and so on. Yeah. So these skills, they live with me.
Yeah.
And I really feel good.
How do you separate the spiritual side of yoga with just the stretches, that you're just literally doing this for your body to be flexible and healthy?
So I do the hatha yoga first, the asanas, the positions, and after I finish that, then I just meditate, which I can do either sitting cross-legged or I can just lie down and meditate.
On what?
And that calms me down a lot.
What are you meditating on?
Life. And the beauty, love, and all these, the beautiful things, the positive things in life. That's what I meditate on. And they just really calm me down.
So when you say meditate on, I'm looking at you because this is spiritual, right?
Yeah.
So, for you as a Christian, you're
that's
probably
why, okay, so I think for me, my instructor scared me a bit.
Why?
Because, so we did the yoga with the stones. Right? During the meditation. So I did, I was studying somatology and I was doing yoga, and then I had to do reflexology because after that you had to specialize in one of the areas.
Right.
So I did reflexology basically just to know the anatomy of the foot, and I didn't do the spiritual side of the reflexology also. I ran away from anything that...
spiritual without Jesus Christ.
Yes. I was scared because I don't know it, and I was like, why are we talking to the universe? Why am I humming this?
You must.
Why does the vibration have to be a certain octave?
In Joshua Maponga's voice, you must be able to appreciate our sacred spaces.
I do.
Yes.
I do.
Nature.
That's why I was asking him, when you're meditating, what is it that you're meditating on? So he says he was meditating on life, because when they take you through that whole meditation phase, because of the way you'll be sitting and your finger positions and everything, you really do zone out. And you go. By the time you come back, it's
we should have had Becky with Joshua Maponga.
Where was I?
You see, what Becky's asking is also what I asked before we started shooting that.
Yeah.
'Cause I liked yoga in the beginning.
Yeah.
For sexual reasons. But
That's good.
It centered you, right?
No, because I wanted to be flexible.
Right.
But then someone then told me, it's a bit satanic. So I didn't really understand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say satanic.
Okay, but it's
No,
not
it's not.
Christian.
But
It's not Christian.
I want to point out something. Maybe Maponga touched on it. Do you know, when we talk about religion, especially as black people, I just make one point. Indians were colonized by the British, like us. But they never lost their religion.
True story.
They never lost their culture. We abandoned everything. And this is why we are where we are. That poverty. Because when you forsake who you are, your culture, your religion, for other peoples, and then of course that's when we come to some of the things that we talk about, the hair, the skin, and so on. It's this mindset that we need to work on to reverse it, to change it. That's so important. I think it's crucial. And until and unless we do that, we're in trouble.
Let me tell you what Joshua Maponga said. He said, if we had been colonized by the Chinese, we would all be Buddhists.
Yeah. We are weak.
I think that just answers it.
We are very weak-minded. And we need that strength of mind.
If we had been colonized by...
So Africans are a problem.
We are a problem.
We are a problem.
We are a problem to ourselves, and that's why
Akira.
Becky, can you imagine? Just imagine this.
Okay.
Your God, your ancestors give you all this wealth. The diamonds, the gold, everything. You can grow anything. Singapore has nothing. But look, they're better than Europe.
Way better.
So ask yourself, why? How is that possible? How can you have all this wealth and you're poor? How is that possible?
Because we have a lot of individuals amongst us. So if I come across a gold field, it's mine. And if somebody else comes across a diamond field, it's theirs. There's no shared.
No, it's a mindset.
wealth.
This is a mindset problem. What we really have to work on is our mindset. So everything that I talk about, Becky, this thing about hair, Grandma talks about hair, skin. Now, I'm talking about something
Mindset.
deeper,
It's deeper than
mindset.
that.
Yeah, deeper than your hair, deeper than your skin. It's the mindset. And when we come to discuss this, I'll explain everything, why I think the way I do.
I think we should get into it.
So also, Doc, you socialize with some of these guys in high places. Do you ever speak to them about the situation to say maybe we are running the country?
No, I don't, and I'll tell you why. When I was chairman of Bindura University, Dr. Mbizo, Washington Mbizo, was PEM secretary. And he said to me, Guramatunhu, we really like what you did at Bindura, building the library. Was, I paid for all the bricks there, and then the School of Optometry. We would like you to come to UZET. And I was at UZET in the council, and I got kicked out. So I don't say anything. Okay.
Why were you kicked out, Doc? What did you do this time?
Because I speak my mind.
What did you do this time?
Because I speak my mind, the way they're treating senior doctors and some deals, because I was in the finance committee, which I disagreed with what was going on. So I had to be kicked out, and I became an enemy of the state, actually. Somebody said I want to form a political party. That's why I don't get involved in politics.
Yeah, but even if they hate you and their eyes give them problems, they have to come to you. You're the man.
That's the way to look at it.
You'll be back.
You can't
Be like, you'll
see
be
me.
back.
I'll see you soon.
I'll see you.
So, now, Becky, here's my story. I get invited to give talks. Yeah, universities, churches, schools, corporate events. And I'm the one man. There might be others too. But I say, you, the black woman, you are the most beautiful woman walking on planet Earth.
You say it with so much passion.
With your natural attributes, your natural hair, your natural skin, the tragedies that you don't know it, and unfortunately, black men are equally ignorant. Let me explain this. You see, we're talking about the mindset and the poverty and everything. Everything comes in together. We have this belief that other races, especially white people, their hair is more beautiful than ours. So we want to have hair like white people.
Right.
We want skin like light people, therefore we bleach. White people have that kind of hair. It's biological adaptation to their cold environment. That's why they have that hair covering the ears and everything, so they keep warm. It's like sheep, white heads. We have sheep over here. You go to Europe, there's wool, a lot of wool. That wool is not for beauty. It's for survival in a cold environment. That's what it is.
You don't need that weave, Becky.
So, why is that isusu? If a sheep are taken to Europe today in winter,
Die.
they'll die of cold. If theirs come here in summer, they'll die of heat. And akafane why kunokunzi ndokuchena ndokupfeka wool. What are you wakani? Kuno pisa. You don't need it. When I look at this, I almost shed a tear. Kuti wakomanaka kusazia kwacho kwatiti sonotema. Because isusu baby, let's be honest, gentlemen. Lady, tikagerwa bvudzi sonotema nditi. Atichingito bvudzi ragerwa mumba itsvina. Ndizvere.
Ongo.
Tunorasa nditi.
Yes.
So tell me, chii chakaitika kuti it's normal kutenga tsvina yanga marudzi tsvina yemaiti.
Ningeri process.
Becky urikupfekere itsvina. Tipo
I've
answer.
got a good one. So African women have big bums because vanogara pasi. Oh my God.
No, it's not even that. I'll come to that. I'll come to that. We're going to Nash. We'll start from the top. We'll start from the top and to come down, right? Yes.
Hey.
So here's the story.
Waist up. At the moment, we're waist up.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry.
So here's the story.
But that hair is processed.
No. I hear you.
Yes.
But the fact, now, and I'll tell you why I got involved. Because women, they throw darts at me, they want to kill me.
Okay.
And they say all sorts of nasty comments.
They shouldn't.
But I don't mind.
Yeah.
Why I got involved? With my Hindu, munakafa, ame also. When it's a wuni, then they put the body on top, then they burn the body. So it's like cremation.
Right.
And then they take the ashes, and most of the time they'll throw them in Ganges River. But I said, no. We're actually burning money here. There's some people who love to buy this hair. So munafa anugerwaji zuda. But that's 100%. Now, also piece of body now, if you remember correctly, there was a time when AIDS, you could tell them AIDS in the body, so right?
Oh yeah.
What does that tell you? Bvudzi is part of the human body. Zvirwere zvemubody zvinoonekwa bvudzi. Isusu vanonyanya munhu tinongotenga. Hazikuti iye munhu akafanei kana chii. Anyway. Then ma-Indians, they believe kuti bad luck. Zvese zvitongoitika muupenyu zvisina kunaka zvakanaka zviri mubvudzi. Saka what they used to do, unogerwa bara bvudzi obva rapiswa. You have to bend that all the bad luck. Panoda kungoritenga rakadaro. So they go to those temples. My rituals are. So I went there and now they say the hair is cut and it becomes a sacrifice to their gods. That's the story.
Yes, yeah.
So I went there and then I saw some homeless people. Poor on streets. Secondly, on terminal illnesses are terminal so maybe the afterlife might be better. Thirdly, on mental illness yeah, good wachigero bvudzi sacrifice bvudzi funga dzinga bvudzi randuna pass so when basi kuzorijorera so wachijorera wozorisota wachibvisa honye wachibvisa inda. And I looked at this ndikati wakomana wanotema chimbori chiko ichochi. Anyway, ndiri Taiwan. And by the way, I'll tell you another story. Because when I was in Taiwan, I bought a book, and the book said clearly that the first inhabitants of Taiwan were black people, and that it was my Taiwanese friends. Because Amy, I've never heard this before. Because oh yes, we have them here. We call them Aborigines. So where are they? Because they're up on the mountains. I flew one time from Japan to the Philippines. I bought a book on the Philippines. The first inhabitants of the Philippines were black people. I'm telling you, we were the first. So if you come from New Zealand, from Mauritius, Australia, Fiji, Vanuatu, you go up even to Japan. We were all over. We are the original people. But we don't realize it. Anyway, so just before burial, room, the hair is shaved off. And then after that, so they showed me a warehouse in a Bvudzi area. So I said, gentlemen, what are you doing with all this hair? Oh, my friend, this is big business. We are making tons of money, billions of money, selling to black people, our biggest customers. How? And that just hit me like this. And I've done my research. If you Google, Africa spends more than $6 billion.
No, it's big business, though. It's big business. Oh.
Anyway.
Wow.
Anyway, so when I came back, this thing really just hurt me so much. I wrote an article in the Sunday Mail. That time I didn't put my name.
Oh, okay.
Just wrote it. So I took it on Atema. And the women went ballistic. Hey, weave, stingy men. Oh, they called me names. So I've got the 42 ladies I work with. So I explained to them, I said, ladies, where I travel, it's opened my eyes. It's opened my mind. So I took it as one of So the ladies that I work with, all of them are natural. And then I started now, maybe I should just share this knowledge that I have. So that's why I give lectures now at universities, churches, and schools.
Right.
And Becky, you're the most beautiful woman with your natural own. But now, Becky, Miss South Africa last year, Angari bold.
Yeah.
Now, once a year, ndinoenda ku Milan, ndinoenda futi ku Paris. Kune ma fashion show akadzaya. You see these ladies from South Sudan very dark. Yeah, my models, yeah. Zuda, big earrings. She's on the catwalk like this. Becky, no other race can pull it off like a black woman. Nekuti mulungu arakuita Zuda toti pakwane cancer pa chemotherapy zikudona. Minja Zuda ribude muchina muchauri ribude imimi, you look like a goddess. That's number one. Number two, check out any black woman you see and short hair. They look cute. They look clean. They look
tell them dark.
Because
Doc, when we got Becky on to come on the show, she came and she had a nice bald head, and we said no, this is perfect.
I missed
and then later on,
but
she's now putting on the dirt.
Anyway, Becky, my weave, they make black women look older, but they don't know it, and nobody tells them that. The moment they remove the wig down, they look younger. I'm telling you a fact. Number three, when a black woman has an afro, she looks like she's got a crown on her head. She looks majestic, like a
dark.
Becky, no other race on earth sports an afro. Only black woman can sport an afro.
Facts.
So the first show I remember, one woman akasumudza muoko zvikanzi ndisu chete tine bvudzi rakatarisa kudenga kuna Mwari angamarudzesere rakatarisa pasi.
Pause.
We say that your hair, you are the only lady on earth where your hair defies gravity. Number four, bvudzi reba sumunga nguri donze with a straight hair like this. Mangofanana newaringa wachina India. With your natural hair, you can do that.
It takes forever.
No, I know. We can just straighten the hair. Number five, my cornrows, my bands. You can fashion your hair. You can plait it 1,000 different styles. No other race on earth can do that but you. Number six, you can have my locks and you look very sexy. No other lady can have locks like you. Becky.
What say you, man? Number seven?
Look at the options that you have in the boots. That is Zuda Makanaka, short hair, afro, straight hair, kurukwa, my locks. 6 options with your hair. No other race has the same options.
What more you want?
You can look like them, get a straight hair, but they can never look like you.
Facts.
Mugoti che zese kutenga chine ya mwana.
But they're doing it different now, Doc.
What say you? What say you? Becky. My submissions ones.
No, listen. So I hear what Doc is saying, and I'm not saying I disagree, but there's options. You did say but black women.
You saw 6 options.
Oh, I want option number 7. I want option number 8.
But
Daneta. They are now doing it differently.
Is that correct, Becky? Come on, give it to us. Okay, that silence means yes.
Now, now it gets worse.
Right.
I can tell you when I respect kana. But this is what I respect. My minds wanangorowa chikobatwa rafu
right.
Hakuna respect. Notote afunge mushe ndononowa. Saka figure zvanzi nawa. Iyo budzi vanorasa nditi. Asi urikubvisa mari kutenga tsvina yemaIndia yemabrazil yemaperuvian. Ubvisa 200, 400, 600, 800 varasvika kunoko. Okay? Auri kutenga mari esa ndozvitimbinga. Ya tine mari. But vamwe wacho vasina mari vari kudawo, but they can't afford these huge figures.
Do they do synthetic?
Yeah. Saka munhu mutema handiri kuda human hair 100%. Not necessarily. Chiri kudiwa apa ilook. Kuita semurungu so.
Right.
Handiri zvingodikana chete. Saka isu ngatigadzire zvimafiber. Zvinogadzira zvimafiber. Kuita kungoluka kunge murungu so. Vanotenga vanhu vakadzima vanotenga. Sure fiber yagadzirwa. Kati vataichipisa imanje. Zvikuti kana sisi vanotsvarawo pachiwanze vanokuchitokipa musoro chiwigi. Chiyorwa ndatochena panapa. Amai ari kutengesa matomato pamusika iye kuchipisa sei. chakanzi keepa musoro was no ono kurorwa musoro so chikwenya kwenya mwari ngatibatsire shure mwari ngatibatsire izwa beki ndochara madzimeka chimozwa beki ndipeki chinzwa beki you see bvudzi riri musoro handiti bvudzi rimwe apo 2 days nogeza mapo takunwa sweat ndizvo here
ndizvozvo
weave inosungirirwa for 1 month 2 months 3 months vakatrepa sweat nemakweno
aiwa ndoutsvina ka
aiwa but you to weave ngevezi sweat inobva
if it's proper hair yes
aiwa ndati weave
inosundirwa yes you can you know the ones that you're saying china inozotengeswa yamawig or whatever you can either now wait as a wig or you can sew it on and you should be able
unogeza sekubvisa yaita zvekusondirwa kana kunamirwa unonamira futika
you wash you do wash your hair doc I hear what
Becky,
you're
this
saying
is a tough one to
it's
defend
not a tough one and I'm not defending it I'm
now,
just giving reasons as to why the women are doing
let
it
me explain to you handida kuudza kuti ndima kana kupinda ukadzesa pasi panapa
yes
and remember and it's not a secret munosanamba vangonoza kuti inini is a dancer vakadzi vekusouth korea vekujapan vekuchina vekuindia varungu chichichi vanema kuzodhanza kudzidzira kudhanza I dance with all these women
right
and that dance now isawa beki ndo vakanaka manje imi mondituka manje hey Guramatunhu hey imi ndinoda kuti ndimi nenyaya yese bcause ndoziya ndatamba nevakadzi vese aka ndoziva kwamunoti ana beki ndimi nenyaya yese but hamuzizivi kuti ndimi nenyaya yese that's all I'm saying now ask yourself for a second kuti you have 6 options with your hair and no other races got the same options why is that I'll give you the answer. You can Google in science. There's a gene runs Eve gene after Adam and Eve gene. Google it. The Eve gene is the only gene capable of producing the other races. That's the only gene that can do that. Now, imimi anabeki. This is why you have 6 options with your hair and nobody else has the same option. Because imimi, you are the mother of all the races. You are the mother of mankind. But what you now have is a situation where the original, the real original, not Beki Mimi, the OG, is trying to copy the copy. That's how sad it is. Because of ignorance. It's wrong with mindset.
So are you saying as black women, if we put away all the weaves, the wigs that we have purchased
the 6 billion
and that's like a whole industry gone, doc. Like that's like we've wiped out a whole industry. Businesses that have fed families.
Do you know who's making the money?
Who's making the money?
The 6 billion. It's not.
It's the white people.
Even if we have a 0.01% of that.
And this is why, because people say, but you're Guramatunhu, you're a doctor, so we're talking about investments on. This is why we need alternative ways of creating wealth rather than drugs. You could sell cocaine if you want and make a lot of money. Sell drugs, you can do that if it's just money you're talking about. Sell bronco, sell cocaine, and then make money. No. So there must be other ways of making money which are much better, which are good for society, which are good for us. Now, so I think that you got the Eve gene. But I'm supposed to much because ignorance. Tuenda pa skin, I'm not bleacher. And so now let me tell you, Isusu, we got the greatest gift from God, melanin, the pigment that makes us dark. That's greatest gift from God. Now with both of melanin, you don't wrinkle easily. You don't. 50, 60, 70, even 80, skin early 40s. They wrinkle with our melanin. That's number 1. Number 2. Ngekuti skin yawo nebvudzi rawo ndezvekuchando kusina zuva rakawanda uko wakarwa nezwa already unoita maskin cancers imi hamuita maskin cancer you're protected nemelanin ndosaka uchiona those vanogara nealbinism vatoti masopi vaya zvezvo munoona zvezvirona zvezvo icancer dzese dziyadzi kufanira varungu because havana melanin. This is the problem. Naye Beki ima kubleacha kubvisa melanin ini zvangu ini moto ma celebrity is bleach society
no I'm like on the bleaching I'm with you.
No like, the two go together. But anyway, here's the story.
Yeah,
when I talk to ladies, like, imagine Beki, your whole body was covered by gold, you'd have a very, very expensive body, right?
Yeah.
Anybody who's listening to this program, please Google the price of gold per gram. I don't know what it is today, but normally it's about $76, sometimes $78 in a gold yakwira. But if you Google it, you'll see price of gold. Now, your body is not covered by gold. It's covered by melanin, that pigment. Google today, the price of melanin per gram is maybe around $440.
Doc, I'm leaving.
Your melanin.
I'm out.
Your melanin.
Sit down.
Doc, tell them.
Your melanin, your skin is 6 times more expensive than gold. But because you're ignorant, you bleach it. And stupid people make celebrities of those kind of people. Come on, please give me a break.
Becky,
give me a break.
Becky,
No. I'm cool.
What? Nigga, what? What?
I'm cool.
What?
I'm cool.
And now,
Okay.
I'm going to move on now. I move down now. You saw that movie, Black Panther.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I Guru and so on. So if you just Google and I Guramatunhu, you see, then I actually appreciate my art at work, my art at home. Pani, I got this sculpture is Feeling Good by Dominic Benura. And when I give art talks,
Oh, you got Benura's art in your home.
lots of his. He's a good friend of mine,
Right.
but I bought some of his best work. And this Feeling Good, when I give art talks, if you come to my house and you're feeling very low, I'll walk with you to this Feeling Good lady. We converse with her, and we start feeling good too. But the point I'm trying to make is, Marvel Studios, after I Black Panther, I was at Avengers, Infinity Wars, and I was lucky enough I got invited to the premiere. But what I want to tell you is this: every race on earth, every lady on earth, they envy, they admire your lips. You may not know it.
Becky, they know about your lips.
Because your lips, your lips as a black woman, they are thick, they are fulsome.
Show us, Becky.
They're
Show the camera.
they are luscious, they are sexy. Sagamaru, if they want to look beautiful, they inject Botox to gain volume. That's what people do to try to look beautiful, because they know that your lips are the most beautiful. Now, I go to Brazil a lot, and one of my doctors with a fortune. Bum enhancement, with my bariatric implants, Becky, you know yourself. There is no lady on earth who's got bums like the black woman. Because yours are fat. Yours are big. They are beautiful.
They're round.
They are the most erotic.
Dark.
He ain't talking about me only. He said black women. He said black women. All right? He said black.
Doc is on a roll.
That's why these other races, they pay a fortune to have them enhanced, because they don't have what you have. You know, it's so sad. Kuna ma blacks wakwenda wana uma hombi kudara, but wakuta enhancement because warongwa kuzvita. No, kuti ayo unoda because havana. Ima kuti because warongwa kuzvita wakuitwa unojera. Inozi kuma So, Becky, all I'm saying to you, my dear, is listen, you've got it all, baby. And I'm serious about this. You have the best hair with all these options. Nobody has the same options as you. The skin, most expensive skin in the world, 6 times more expensive than gold. The lips.
Holla.
Now, and this I addressed to you. You know, I've got interesting young people. I was invited, NASH, National Association of Secondary School Headmasters and Headmistresses. They had a conference in Trotbegin. That's this first time I spoke about this. So he invited me as a guest speaker, Guramatunhu. So I said to them, you know, you headmasters and headmistresses, you have an awesome responsibility to install confidence in the black child.
Yeah.
Let a little black girl know, sweetie, there's nothing wrong with your hair. There's nothing wrong with your skin. God or nature did not make a mistake on you. In fact, do you know, you have the best hair. You got all these 6 options. You have the best skin, got melanin. Nobody is telling our children this. Nobody.
Facts.
So I was sitting at the podium, and the hierarchy was sitting next to me. And then I stood up to speak, and I looked at the audience. And I begin. I asked my weave. And I said, Mwariga, tibatsireo panapa. I didn't have another speech. That's the only speech I had. So I said to them, we have headmistresses here who are teachers, who are mothers. Now, you are in education, so you know more than I do that every little child looks up to the mother, looks up to the teacher, looks up to the headmistress, or looks up to that aunt like Becky who's successful. The child has their own natural hair. She looks at mom, wig weave, teacher, wig weave, headmistress, aunt, wig weave. Then she says to herself, how come my hair is not like my mom's hair or my teacher's, my headmistress? It means there must be something wrong with me. I know more than a problem here. I know India no problem here. When we China problem, when Japanese, our child has a problem. Something is wrong with me when they're young. They grow up with a machef, with that mentality. That's why the racists can just come here. After all, if you then have leaders with that kind of mindset, where do you think we'll go?
No weaves. No wigs. No $6 billion industry.
So here's what you're going to tell your friends. And I'm telling you this, I'm serious about this. Each time we put on the wig, the weave, we are inflicting untold psychological damage to the black child.
That's painful, dog. Because I got daughters, actually. So
please give them the confidence. Don't do this nonsense. Let them grow up like the Japanese child, like the Indian child, with that confidence. You know.
So, Doc, I agree with what you say, a lot of it. But I just want to put it to Becky. Like, how do you think white people feel when they see you wearing their hair?
They also question.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's like you're saying they're beautiful because they have this sort of hair.
Okay, so for as long as I have known this whole thing, my wigs and stuff, my mom used to do it all. She would wear her natural hair. She would do the braids. She would have the wig. But at that time, I'm going like a band where it looked like she had an Alice band on, and then the hair at the back. She worked in a bank. And I think at that time, in the 90s or so, they were very strict about, the look, how you would come to work. You came in an afro. It's like, Pamsoro, is everything all right?
Yeah.
So the corporate world also,
it's ignorance.
Brought that about. Yeah. And then you were not normal or not okay. You were not complete. You were not groomed if your hair wasn't straight. And then the relaxers came into play. So, okay, I'm not wearing a wig, but I will relax my hair because you want it straight. So I'll relax my hair.
Do you know that L'Oreal are being sued in the States right now as we speak by black women because that chemical in relaxer causes uterine cancer in black women. And they're being sued right now. So you know about that, But not only that, braids.
Yes, now we have to be careful on the braids that we buy.
Cause cancer also.
You can't buy cannabis braids because they
cause cancer.
They cause cancer. You have to buy like the I think it's like a synthetic type, but not cannabis. Because it's doing that whole thing. So we've got the chemicals fighting against us. We've got the braids fighting against us. That's why others end up just braiding with wool.
Do whatever but you know what?
It's a length issue, Doc.
You are so beautiful.
It's a length issue.
I've got 42 ladies I work with in the ways for the natural. Not that I force them, but I just to enlighten them. Okay. We call that a very powerful, iconic fashion statement, which only a black woman can make. Not the rest can make that statement.
So if all corporates were like that, then you would have more black women comfortably going to work like that.
You know what? We want to educate these people. That's why I talk. I mean, I don't care what people say now about me. But we need to educate people. Yeah. Now, women tell me, Doctor, you talk to us. There's a Grindle. Guramatunhu, tell us your story. So I told them my story. So the paids are magic. They all put their hands up. They're telling me, Doctor, we are not the problem. The problem is the black man. Your brothers, they want to that name of Zimbabwe fire. Don't you think my wig actually my wig and as soon as if you go natural, the next thing is got a girlfriend. I'll think that my wig. Can I 3-5 up? One muchugu, 4 dark.
Muchugu
the black man majinji wacho 90% tenga nyingachi muchugu huyo. Saka doctor mimi with all due respect next time salama kwa tiri. Talk to your brothers. That's what they told me. And I get invited now as men's cave and all these things, and I talk about this. And you know, I think men might get upset with me, but I'm going to say it now. I have said, especially to young people, because that's my interest. I want these young guys to grow up with confidence. Could you go the best?
Their mind is still malleable.
Yeah, because you know, Mulazia guys, just name my jeans actually, because Olympics, 100 meters, tomorrow winner, 200 meters, 400 meters. That's not by coincidence. It's actually the strands of DNA that we have. Good, powerful genes, but not just physical, even intellectual. My lights I'm going to buy when say Thomas Edison, but the filament was a black guy in Latimo. GPS, you know, my automatically my gears are changes. So many things. So when the young people to know yes, and once you do that, because as soon as we should be living better than Switzerland or Sweden. I'm telling you.
Because we've got the resources.
Everything is here. Everybody. So, what I say to young people is, if you meet a black man, it doesn't matter how powerful he is. It doesn't matter how wealthy he is. It doesn't matter how well educated he is. If his wife or mistress or girlfriend wears a wig wave, there are 2 things you don't give him. Your trust and your respect. He doesn't deserve it.
That's all you niggas.
Because of a weave and a wig.
That's all you niggas.
Nash, where do you stand? Where do
That's
you stand?
everybody.
My wife is a weave as we speak. So don't.
Sorry.
We got no respect for you.
You see, Nash, I say, if your wife is a weave, whatever it is, you go to bed, you're going to bed with 2 women.
I don't have a problem with that.
For real though. He's been trying to go to bed with 2 women.
Here's the problem, Nash. The other is the Denny mkazokanditi. The other Denny if you don't have a problem with that, we don't want to That's
He escalated it very fast.
I think I'll stop right there.
Becky, look, if you're not gonna get it from that perspective, what about the spiritual perspective, right?
I'll pray for it.
Oh, hold on. Like you might get here from someone who had a spirit of prostitution, or a spirit of poverty, or a spirit of being unfaithful, and you wonder why these women are so unfaithful. It's the hair.
It's the hair.
Get rid of the hair. We'll have ourselves some faithful women.
Know. You know what?
You know what I mean?
I purchased that hair.
I have the answer.
And I think I will purchase even more.
You don't have the answer, Dash. You don't have the answers, Sway.
You don't have all the answers.
I've got the answers.
No, you know what? I think I've debated with myself about this topic a lot of times. So I literally do this before I put those wigs on. No, it doesn't work.
No.
I do.
It doesn't work.
I pray before I have it on. Because I've heard all these stories. They're scary. I don't want to be careful. But then also, I think once it's off, once it's off that person's head,
Today's a Sunday.
There's follicle is not attached. It's dead. That thing, it's dead. It's dead. How is it attached to that?
Even the doctors look.
Becky's trying to.
The trachologist. We did a session now.
Right.
Dr. Mpawase. She's the only person I know any PhD in trachology.
Okay.
Ketley's. They were Ketley's, and she used to have the salons and whatever.
Anita Feso. And
then
there's a lady, Dr. Munutu. She's a dermatologist. She's in the States.
Okay.
And they're saying it now it's been proven. there's going to be transfer of DNA. Now that's what I'm saying. These are trichologists.
That's it. I tap out. I tap out.
Most of us imagine
But Doc, on that one, when you kiss a girl, you transfer DNA. When you have sex without protection, you transfer DNA.
True.
But none of that DNA ever gets in the bloodline. Is that not the same with the hair?
No.
Because you're transferring DNA, but the DNA is...
No. It goes in, and even...
So is that hectic, Doc?
Even my chemicals are that's why they cause cancer. Because they go through from that, my relaxer. Then it goes through my pores, my bases, my pores, the physical system, then blood system. So my cancer. You know what?
Hey.
To conclude this, well, spiritual, even Bible, something in Delilah and
the power in the hair. I know, yeah.
I think, Denny, you're sure if I can make way to conclude this. You know what? From my experience and my travels, and I think we talked about the dancing I do. I dance with everybody, and scuba diving all over the place, and dive with all of the people and so on. Isusu wanatema. Trust me, this name yes. If you are begging, kupakuputsi, zvese zvitataura skin yako chichi, ndimnenya yes. Nyika yedu Zimbabwe inai. As I said, tumuri fitness tine zvese. More than any other country can even imagine. Tina upfumi unochikisa. Poverty yedu kubva
brain.
That's what I'm saying. So no. I'm not talking about your hair. I'm not talking about your skin. I'm talking about
your mindset.
Something deeper than your
So
hair.
if we are to look at the mindset and how to change it, where are we starting? What's the area that we should be focused on?
Let's start with the hair.
This is why I was saying I've thought long and hard about this. One power. One they are very rich. One we have my PhD. But how is it possible that people with such knowledge, and they argue, I'm just saying, but how is it possible that you can't appreciate what you have? Because you have more than anybody else. You are God gave you the best of everything, but you don't realize it. And then you actually pay money, a lot of money too, to look like somebody else, to buy what should be thrown in the dustbin by somebody else, and you pay for it and you put it on your head.
You post up on Instagram.
What my celebrity when you visa Melanin no Durakudaro in that's what everybody is asking. But my channel this is why Denny, this gentleman I'm telling you, when I come to talk, my foreigners and it. I've got name taona granite panapa. Saka visa mishenyu panapa. Kana makuwa visa uchirachi granite. Granite hiyo ndiani?
Yedu.
You think isusu Denny tingende kuchana dono ivai panapa kupi kono zvito koko.
Possible.
Kupi kono zvita.
Only in Africa.
Hapana kushorwa kumana kunopfura ipapo.
So are we starting with self-actualization?
Of course it is. Then isusu na dino ndizo shariswa labor kudiga granite yedu yetu diga papa tu zumura to hapa tupoka marike labor ndizo. Tupoka marike labor ya. Tapoka marike labor yaka tusataka makomba siwa ni urombo wedu. Imi wana begi mutaura zima begi zumbo wombe zima canvas begi so nikafunika nzi kamina kuenda kuchena motika zima fiber nzi wangu ya.
Kanye maseka.
I'm telling you, may God help us. I'm telling you. I'm just saying as it is. This is crazy. It's incomprehensible. How do you understand that?
Becky, what you gotta say?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because I'm thinking he's talking about mindset. We've been doing a series which I'm really loving on the whole decolonizing the African mind and somehow trying to reestablish us back to our dignity and finding our way back to who we really are. This is why I'm asking, okay, fine, you talk about the mindset, poverty and everything. So where are we starting? So he just basically answered and he said it's self-actualization.
Are you going to bend your hair?
My wig,
I know you got a serious hair collection.
No. Hold on. Hold on, like hold your. Ooh, slow down.
You're keeping it.
Slow down. For now, yes. Okay, for now.
Doc, where are we going? You know,
But Denny bazvinzoka anzi wakadzi vakati imimi ndimune problem. So yeah, that's why most of the time Guramatunhu yakutenzo tarani nyama dzako idzi.
Nash, do we have a problem with chicks bleaching and being light or whatever? If our chicks are sexy.
Mada vako voswera vakarukwa malines. Why? December to December.
Nice. Nice. Nash, do we really? Because they're blaming.
Marco, are you serious?
They're blaming it on us.
Serious?
None of us ever said you must lighten up.
What I've got on, yes, looks nice, natural and everything, but this could probably make me sick.
Yeah,
right?
Cancer, yeah.
So now I have to go to my natural hair. Right. The name Manze, you know, the solar panel distribute.
Becky.
Right?
Becky, when I first saw you, you had no hair.
I had short hair. I had a cute brush cut.
You're looking 100. Nash, the first time we saw you, we and Nash were like, yo, she's one.
But I ain't cutting my hair again. That's for sure. I ain't cutting it again. I probably will find other ways to do it as I think about all the wigs and weaves.
We got the good doctor.
Go and bend them. Just go and bend them. You don't need them.
The good doctor.
You look funny. I didn't tell you I was going to be polite.
I was going to be polite.
No. But I'm going to Guramatunhu. Madzimai nyaya zviri kungoisa musoro izvi. Omuka watarisa zvinenge zvinyawiri, kunge zviguri, kunge zvidhori. Zvinombofamba sei? Ndandovataura kuti makanaka makadaro madzimai. Bvudzi look funny. Hausi murungu, asi mune bvudzi muri kubva shoko. Hausi minde. Imne bvudzi makanaka.
But have you ever wondered, like, when white people are by themselves, the way they'll be laughing?
Anoseka. I don't know wakadzima.
I don't know. It's a long journey.
Yeah, because then you're teaching. Because
one.
then you're teaching the young people.
It's not impossible. I mean, it's a difficult one, but not impossible.
I think we should concentrate on the kids.
Yeah, but I've seen it when my daughter sees my hair slick. She also wants her hair slick. If she sees it in braids, she also wants it.
I think the problem is much bigger because, like, if you go on YouTube, where lots of youngsters go, and they're looking at these role models, it's these white little girls with running hair. There are very few black cartoons, and very few role models for even young kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go to YouTube, because my kids be on YouTube, and then they're just like they're always just saying it's just white is beautiful as far as all the content on there.
And yet that's not even true. Because how can you say because you lack pigment is therefore more beautiful? When for the pigment is that's the original. They've told you Taiwan the first inhabitants were black people. Japan were black people, and Philippines the original were black people. Everywhere, all over, we are the original, the OG.
Doc, I wanted to ask you. So, what about people who have cancer and suffer from alopecia or whatever, and then their hair growth is restricted, but they still want to look beautiful? Do we allow them to wear this
it's not a
foreign hair?
No. Not a question of allowing or not allowing. In Inizang, say if I had a relative and I had alopecia, they can have an Afro wig. Because you see, if you're going to look then you look ridiculous in my view. So blonde. I won't say, but
come on, I'm begging. Do it for me with the what? Like that?
Well, there's somewhere we need a big function.
Yeah.
No, kuru so. Chitaura so. Chitezu kudai. Ndikati wakomana tinosumuka Yesu akaza kunyipa che.
Bawana.
Wow, Doc.
I've said my piece, and for those that don't do
I think Majaira.
I don't even care.
Yeah.
Look,
you're fixing the count.
I got money. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean,
go to hell, broke nigga.
Say what you want to say.
Go to hell, broke nigga.
That's why you're broke.
Go concentrate on your brokenness, nigga.
Leave me alone. I say what I said.
$6 billion.
Apa una cash.
I would rather invest that money.
Give us those 5 elements again. You said with the school that you want to
the 5
start
things,
with. Yeah.
Every black child should have computer literacy.
Right.
And with the wealth that we have, every child must have a computer ECD.
mskanzwa pa-computer doc mskanzwa.
The apps.
Number 2, financial literacy.
They must know about money.
Yes.
How to make it?
Flash as well.
Okay.
How to create wealth. What do I think? You know, we think I'm wanting to investment, but they are real investments which create wealth.
Okay.
Invest in it, create more wealth for you.
All right.
3, blockchain technology. Because that's the future of the world. Believe me, people don't want to go, but if you just go into Bitcoin, this is going to be the new reserve currency of the world.
Okay.
4, art. Because we are so Picasso himself, his art was inspired by African art. And this year in the Venice Biennale, because I'm very much in the art world, so I travel to Venice Biennale every 2 years, and I go to London Art Week, Art Lagos, I go there. Art in Zimbabwe, it's making waves all over the world, but we don't realize it, and we don't invest in it. So in India, I believe in supporting the artists, so I buy their work, and I have my own gallery.
You're one of very few.
Right. So I need to do both any talent. What about the involved in art? And the last thing was knowledge of self.
Knowledge of self, yeah.
No. Yes, you are the old Jim Sanyepri no I am Maruzari better than Akuna Jakadaro Ndimi Mnenyes. And on top of them pop, Fumi watching a Marutinica, Muchkisa. But they're going to with a personal with a musha papa.
Get to the youth that Ukona Papa, Denny.
Oh?
Get to youth that Ukona Papa on the 5 things that.
At the Pesega. Remember to
Muchtangira papi. But Muchtangira papi. Because I think some of these things, like all the elements that you mentioned, or I don't know whether to call them elements or pillars, that you mentioned, I see the affluent thriving with them. What about those in the ghetto? What about those?
But let me be honest with you.
Yeah.
In Nini personally, well, I know when I go up primary, computer center and then also but now there are 3 schools where I grew up, and why I'm investing right now, apart from the school that I'm building, Nyabiro, these 3 schools I want to make them model schools where people come with wow, kuma reserve.
Okay.
Because there's no reason why even Mbadzema teacher kuma reserve. Listen, tine zuamuno, tine lithium. We could make the solar batteries here. We get the technology to make my solar panels. Yeah. So this whole country is lit in the solar. We
should in this show on solar.
We should
Facts.
Yeah. My village. My village is going to. There's no difference being in Europe. Because we become my gates and my teacher is running water. My toilets are no flash. My school is exactly the same. There's no reason we can't do that because we have it all.
Nice.
Okay, so you've given us 5 pillars, elements. I'm loving the direction that this is going. At least I know where to start. And you burn my wigs.
What, Becky? How much are we looking at? Your wig collection.
5,000.
What are we looking at? Big badge.
5,000.
Big badge. GT6 worth of aqua worth of wigs.
They're gonna tenga motor, but that's the truth. I can buy a car. I think the most expensive wig that I have was like 900.
Shit.
Yeah, man, she's not lying.
Shit.
You could have if you invested in
no, please
Bitcoin.
don't. No, you know what? That doesn't help anymore.
Okay, let's put it into perspective. If we had invested this 900, what are we looking at, Doc?
We could have even $1 million. No, but
there is a spirit of poverty in the hair of those people.
As a people.
Yeah.
That's why we are poor.
The decisions that we're making.
$900 for a dead woman's hair.
You're enriching somebody else. And
yet
you have better hair than they have.
Why don't you sell your weaves to Batamaredu, to Nonamdara, to invest?
I don't think it's
I know there's good resale value because they're still in very good condition. I take care of those things because they take care of me, like when I'm on stage, doing my work. It just makes it so much easier to get ready for functions.
For your work.
Yeah, I mean,
But I'm very lucky.
So you are attributing your success to white women?
No. I just.
I don't know. It's perspective.
Your perspective is wrong. Okay, I will think about it. I do know that I'm sitting on quite a lot of money in my house right now, and I really could make really good decisions.
My current dancing partner, the lawyer, Beatrice Mtetwa.
Okay.
And all my friends, and I get to my lawyer, all my friends, they say my zango, natural hair. I'm going to short hair, I'm going to my afro Gigi. And they look beautiful. So they just don't wear these things. They don't.
So they're receiving the message.
Okay.
Yeah, and including, I got 4 sisters. I'm 2 states, I'm 2 England. And I've got 2 daughters also. I've never spoken to my family members about this topic. Natural.
Do you have sons?
Yes.
How are their partners?
Only natural. Mkadzi wake No, I'll tell you. I won't mention the name because she's very, legal system.
Right.
So I think the message came across, and there's no any afro, and she looks so beautiful. She really does. And I think this is where the people are making a mistake. If all these women are natural, they won't believe how beautiful they look. This myth, this is just a myth, and it's completely wrong. It's not true.
Kodok, this revolution, don't you feel like you need to take it to the judiciary? Because they wear those wigs. You understand? Zanima lords.
Honorable member, order.
Yeah, they wear. You know what I'm saying, Nash? You've seen. The judiciary needs to watch this episode.
They do. That's not even. But I think according to law, they. No.
Yeah, go England.
No.
The judiciary must watch this episode.
We just had to go there. Doc, another thing that has happened on the show that I've witnessed time and time again, Zimbabwe, he does exaggerate it, but sometimes I've really seen it. He gets a lot of comments about being tribalistic. What's your view on tribalism? He will comment about something, Denny's a tribalist,
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But it's not true.
I'll tell you what happened to me. As I told the chairman of Bindra University for 10 years. And there was an president Gigi and so on. Because of what we did in the library, Guramatunhu lounge could Bindra University because of the contribution we did. And when I was opening this, I was talking to young people and I said to them, you see, what we have done Kubindura, and that's much central. I don't come from there. What we have done here, we would do it in Mad North, in Mad South, in Midlands, in Manicaland, because I'm Zimbabwean. If I found myself in Mozambique, I would contribute because I'm African.
Okay.
If I found myself maybe in the Caribbean, I would also contribute whatever I could do because I'm a global citizen. Now, I did some research in Rimo Chirando. So the research yangu kwamukharakati wana mangwendu kwamrewa imoyo saka ihamba dzangu idzi.
Right.
Then anastole mandau Eastern Highlands imoyo Chirando ihamba dzangu futi idzi. Vese vanonzi wana moyo vari kuMidlands kumasvingo kupi vanonzi moyo chete ihamba dzangu idzodzo. Then I went further, Makalanga, Plumtree area, all that area. Another late SK Moyo, and Jonathan, who's on one's Moyo chet. Then I met Festus Mohai, who was president of Botswana at some point. And he told me himself, Kutie Moyo Chirando, because my people came from there. And the wife was there, I got, when you are Botswana. Now, what does that tell us? When South Africa, kuna Moyo. Even because in Moyo Rico, Botswana Rico, Zimbabwe Rico, Zambia Rico. The point is, we come from the same cloth.
Joshua Maponga.
When we are tribalist, it means we are ignorant. We are very small-minded. We are very narrow-minded. were very shallow-minded. Nothing good comes from that. That's my idea is about tribalism. I think it just shows ignorance.
So, but it's easy for us to just say it shows ignorance, but there's a deep-rooted hate that stems from past experiences where people from Matabeleland feel a certain way towards the Shona people. Mm-hmm. And I think we all know where the hate comes from. Mm-hmm. And it would be nice if at some point it's cut off and then we start afresh. Because whatever happened and it had nothing to do with the current generation.
No, I agree. I understand
but, you know, it's like hate that is inherited. You know.
Yeah, but you know, I hear you. You see, everything is education. Like I've told you, so how can I discriminate against them? And also, if you go back to history, you can see and then it goes to go. You see, it goes on and on and on. But we need everything is not. It's leadership. It depends on that. Now, to say to lead the guys, I mean, if I had my way, every child in Zimbabwe would speak both Shona and Ndebele and English. So imagine you can have these kids speaking 3 languages fluently. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's something that can be done, but it's not because
that would even the playing field. To be like, it's very difficult to hate
this is it.
Someone who can speak
language. And this we can easily do. You know, Singapore, remember they had these, you know, one in China, or one in my Indians, one in my Malay, and so on. And they said even in a building like this, my high-rise flats, could you don't just have my China guy, block in my India. No, they said they mixed 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. So the kids then go to the same school. Mm. And then they play together from ECD. But these things have to be thought about and then effected so that, you know, you actually destroy some of these things. But it has to be deliberate.
Again, back to the mindset.
All right, okay, before we wrap up, Doc, let's talk about, of all your businesses, which one is the most profitable? It always comes back to money. Because you're a successful business person.
Doc, tichingopedza vana vaga. Mototora 5,000. Yeah,
So which one is the most profitable?
Let me be honest with you. With knowledge that I have today.
Yeah. Crypto.
Nothing beats crypto.
All right, okay. I'm also told that the block of flats opposite Greenwood High Street belongs to you. How far true is that?
No. I wouldn't answer personal issues about my wealth. That's
Nash,
personal.
Nash, it's a disservice to our viewers.
Doc, is it wrong for people to look at your personal achievements and be inspired by them?
But you know, it's crass to talk about your own wealth.
But you've been asked, Doc. Doc,
you know,
it's not like you came here and you said, Doc.
You don't do that.
Doc.
Okay, is there a way you can answer it inclusively?
No, I agree with you. I mean, yes, I do have some properties there. True.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you answered?
Not really. I'm just trying to get to the deeper.
Okay.
So, is that the only place?
No, Denny, I'm not going to answer these questions. You know, Denny, what we should do after this session, should get a pass. That's more important than
nice. Yeah. Nash, and then that property there by Newlands, do we still want to apply for it?
Yeah.
Because that mall there by Newlands, he owns that block.
So, yeah. I just want to ask you personal questions, not like nothing serious, just so that we can just wind down. Who's your favorite artist in Zim?
Music.
Local.
Music artist.
What are you playing right now in your car?
He plays Mozart.
No.
Beethoven.
Only if I'm talking I still love his music.
Okay, do 3. Name us the 3 artists that you play in your car. Beethoven.
Ludwig, please. Ludwig van Beethoven.
What about that guy that time to say goodbye?
No, meaning it is salsa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just the instrumentals, or like with the whole Cuban vibe.
Spanish.
Ranka baba.
Yeah.
So, Doc, who are your top 3 Zimbabwean artists? Your favorite? Do you have a favorite, or you just have one, Tuku, and then you go overseas to Cuba?
There's some of these young ones. In Danyura, we have this guy.
Killer T.
Killer T.
Your vibe is Killer T.
And then, in fact, ndakaenda kupati Natalie Jabangu yangari headway kukeshwe birthday party yake takaenda ku Cape Town kusembosh and Mukomba. Dance to Mukomba.
Yeah.
I love
no,
their
they're good. They're good.
Yeah.
One of our best exports actually.
Yeah, na Gemma Griffiths. I like music also.
And Jah Praiser, you like Jah Praiser?
Oh yeah, Jah Praiser very much. I like him a lot. Yeah, do much and
Yeah,
Jah Praiser, I like his music very much.
Nash, you can also tell him, we need to have Jah Praiser on the show. For some reason, he thinks that we don't like him, but we actually love his music. Is that correct, Nash? Because we're speaking to Keen.
No, there's a difference. Listen, Danny, even your statement just didn't come out right.
Which one?
We're looking for Jah Praiser. He thinks he doesn't like us. He thinks we don't like him, but we love his music.
No, it's the reverse psychology. Work with me.
Oh, I must work with you.
Me.
Yeah, what he said.
We addressed it. Yeah, we want him on the show. He should come.
Okay,
so those are the local guys that you listen to. That's about okay. So what would you like to be remembered for when you're gone?
Right now, I would like to. I tried hard to change the mindset of our people.
Okay. So that's what you want to be remembered?
Yes. Yes.
The guy who tried.
I tried, yeah.
To show the people the way.
And I became doing so they don't have to do all these things. Whenever you talk about confidence, you don't have to be poor. Doesn't make sense to me.
But we don't have all those decisions.
On that note, can I ask you a question? Are you optimistic? Or
Yes. Yes, I am. I'll tell you why.
We've all got to be optimistic, of course.
I can maybe.
Are things looking good?
You see, I get people today, some of them don't even know me, but they'll say, I changed my hairstyle after I heard this man talk about this, and I changed. Some who are bleaching, and they just said no. So I see people changing, and actually a good thing. When each time I fly out at the airport, I've got this habit. Any lady with natural hair at the airport, whether it's check-in or security, I give them $10. I do that all the time. And then, so now they'll say, but doctor, I got natural hair underneath. I said, yeah, but so are you covering it, So I don't give you anything. And the last time I flew in, as you come in from the plane and you come in at immigration, all of them had natural hair. For the first time.
Itinerary.
No,
the doctor is on this flight.
It's too risky to have weaves.
So now I'm seeing more and more ladies who are now proud. And they say to me, doctor, you gave us confidence. That's what they tell me. You gave us self-confidence. We didn't have confidence. We thought if we don't have wigs or weaves, then it looks like we are poor, we are suffering, and so on. But you told us that, no, you're fine. You gave us the confidence. And that makes me very happy.
And on the country's future?
Thank you. One answer. In my view, this country belongs to the youth. The future of this country belongs to the youth. So the answer is the youth.
Let's Father-in-law, we're good. Are you optimistic about the prospects of the country going forward?
Sorry?
Are you optimistic about the country in general, the economy and so on?
Well, I know right now it's difficult to give an answer. But see, if you look at the Sahel region, Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, what's just happened there? And now they managed to kick the French out, and now they're taking the reins of their country and deciding their destiny. So the answer is all things are possible.
All right. Okay, thank you, Doc.
It is what it is. I think we did a good job here. We had Dr. Solomon Guramatunhu with us on the Denny J Show. Let us know what was your favorite part, please. Let us know in the comment section. Remember to press that subscribe button so that you can get notifications when the next episode is up and running.
Thank you,
We
Doc.
also have our merchandise that we are selling. We got the merchandise, guys. Come through and get it. Come through and get it. The name is Becky K. I was chilling with Denny J and Dr. G. We're out.
The Denny J Show. Zvanga zviri down ta up tauraitinzwe nyaya dzacho dzese narrative ndaichidwe kana mchida kutipisa deep ndaipidwe make you spill a bean if you know what I mean